Well, hello there. Welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den, you're going to be in for a pleasant surprise. The Den is the best conversation on the internet. And and I'm glad you could join us this evening. Tonight we're going to talk about religion, man. Thank you first before we get into it. We're going to talk about religion. We had a good conversation we started last night about the topic of religion, and I just felt like we needed to continue it because, you know, the original topic was something different, and I don't feel like we had a chance to really get all the way into it. I know Brother Broderick wanted to be able to call in, you know, express his points and his views, and I know y'all are looking forward to the Brody B Chronicles. So he was getting to a point, I believe, in the story where he'd be able to talk about how religion has impacted him. But again, like I say, first and foremost, let's get into the proper housekeeping. Thank you for allowing me to be your host each and every evening at 10 p.m. Central. I'm Ed Honcho. This is the Den Show. You guys are the greatest denizens, den folk, friends in the den. You know, I don't like to use the term, I guess subscribers is okay. I don't know. I don't like the term followers or subscribers. I mean, we all bring something to the conversation. So that's why I try to use different terminology, right? But again, I guess you subscribe. It is what it is. So you guys are the greatest. And tonight, like I said, we're going to talk about church. We're going to talk about religion. We're going to talk about the do's, the don'ts, those who agree, those who disagree. You know, some of us have left religion. Some of us have found religion. But you can find the Den on all the proper social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook.com/DenShowLive, Twitter and Instagram @DenShowLive. Different platforms, same name. Very easy to find. If you want to contact the Den, 833-284-3336. Again, that number is 833, the number 2, the Den. Is the easiest way to remember that. If you got some thoughts on your mind, topic ideas, you know, just want to shoot the shit, leave a voicemail. DenShowLive@gmail, same deal, but you can do it in an email. If you want to tell a friend about the Den, tell them to go to thedenshow.com. If you want to tell them how to get here live, like right now, this very second, tell them to go to thedenshow.com/karate chop live. And it'll bring them right to the live page. And if you go to that link, even when we're not live, it'll take you to whatever's up. You can get in the chat and shit, even though nobody be there. I'm gonna say shout out to everybody who's been supporting the Den as we continue on this journey, man. Like I say, good things ahead. Streamlabs.com/the Den Show. So, like I said, the goal again, if you don't know, is I'm trying to convince 1,000 people between this channel and my other channel to find $5 worth of value in the work that is put in every night into the show, into the stream, or whatever it may be. Or we can just do like we're doing last night, man. Hey, I'm trying to get a motherfucking jet like Creflo Dollar. And look, I need $69 million to get to that bitch. So we gonna get that shit. I mean, can I get a jet? I mean, I need to get a jet so I can get to one side of Houston to the other, man. We're trying to get this jet set, jet life, all that good shit. But no, all jokes aside. And if you want to contribute on a monthly basis, you can go to patreon.com/the Den Show and choose one of the tiers there. And there are various tiers, you know, if you want to support. Shout out to Stina Starry-Eyed, and I appreciate your support so that, you know, we keep this thing going. And like I said, you can get your name in the credits of the shorter videos and things like that. I know I haven't done those in a couple of days. A lot of gay people are mad at me. I think there's some trans people mad at me too. I don't know. They're like 1% of everything. And they said that they got mad at me for saying it's not that big a deal. But anyway, so now that we got the proper early housekeeping out the way, man, look, you know how this goes. I'm going to spill my shit for a few minutes. And then I will open up the line, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say. All right. And I want to know, we had some very interesting perspectives, and let's just kind of recap and move forward. Last night, man, we had some good calls. Okay. And Edwin been dropping some gems. Shout out to Edwin. The more we get to know about Edwin, the more interesting this gentleman is. And, you know, he called and he talked about, you know, being in the home with a pastor, preacher, and he just talked about, you know, religion and things and what changed his mind. I found that very interesting. Broderick was sharing a story about what brought him to religion. We've had callers say, well, they don't go to church because, you know, they didn't find a church they cared for, or it was just something they were forced to when they were young. Some folks, you know, just don't believe the validity of religion, the purpose that it serves. They think it's old and outdated. Me personally, myself, this is how I look at things, all right? I talk about how I was raised, and I talk about Jehovah's Witnesses, but that's mainly the religion I know. I've gone to other churches and things on occasion, and the shit just seems weird to me, just from a watching sport. Like I said, I don't get the Holy Ghost shit. I don't get all that falling and flopping, pop locking and dropping. Just not my bag. So I look at things. Usually, I compare most of my stuff like that. Okay. But before I dive, I'm just already getting the conversation. I'm forgetting the good shit, man. We got to talk about the most important thing. That's you, the denfolk, the denizens. Let's see who we got joining us this evening. Before I get into the conversation, okay, I got to let the player know. Who do we got in the mix tonight? Let's see. I see Freddie A, Captain Diggler. Chat won't act stupid with me. Come on. Don't stop the nonsense and shenanigans. All right, there we go. Freddie A, Captain Diggler. Again, it did the exact same shit. J&J Sportscast, Simply Deep 1985, Balin, what's the motherfucking deal? Edwin Baptiste, what's the motherfucking deal? Rashida Reed, Broderick Brooks, what's the motherfucking deal? Beyond a Funny Nigga, what's the motherfucking deal? So, okay, I don't know why this shit is the regular chat being janky in a bitch. But anyway, let's get back into it. Jason S, what's the motherfucking deal? So, here, and Wise, my fault, Wise, 420 Christian, look, man, as much as I would love to, it would deplete from the goal that I have set myself to undermine it, and I want to. And so unless some type of miracle happened, it always could. I mean, it always could. I'd have to make the world's most amazing video between now and a couple of days from now, 2 days for that to happen. But hey, it could happen. You never know. But that's a bet, man. Hey, yeah, look. Exactly. Maurice Hampton, what's the motherfucking deal? Rob Myers, good to see you. What's the motherfucking deal? Happy birthday. Keep the party going. But let's talk about it. So we're talking about religion. We're talking about the different aspects. So we had calls comparing religions. What do you think about Muslims versus Christians versus, whatever else? You have people, like I say, who have become atheists after being in a religion. Some people who've never, been religious, period. Some people who would never think of not being religious. We had a young lady join us yesterday that I had never seen, but she had some very vehement points on her perspective of religion. April Ray, what's the motherfucking deal? And then what happened is we kind of started getting into some of the nuances of the church, the modern day church, and some of the almost criminal-like behavior that goes on and is accepted by people under the guise of doing it for God. And, it's wild. And so I kind of want to talk about all of this stuff. I want to bring all these things back. All right, baby. McVice, what's the motherfucking deal? But I want to bring all these conversations back. And I want to, like I say, the den is an open conversation. No need to feel offended. Just always back up your points. And all those good things. But let's carry on. So like I said, I spent most of my life, or most of my early life, as a Jehovah's Witness. And to me, what I saw there, which was different than a lot of churches or religions or whatever, that I've seen or dibbledy dabbled and maybe peek my head in the door. What y'all doing in here? What y'all talking about? Is the way they approach stuff. It's almost like school, as opposed to some of the churches that I've seen. How people are involved, how, in-depth the study of the Bible is. Now you have those extra publications, and I know certain people have their views about that, but they use those, I guess, as aids. Not that kind of aids, but aids to inform you of what is being said and what is being meant by certain passages and things like that. Someone brought up something yesterday, and I find to be a very real point, because we got on the topic of like black churches and how a lot of those people who go to these things aren't even very familiar with the scriptures that they're being read. A lot of times, even some of these prosperity churches, some of these prosperity preachers, they cut and paste, they skew things in the way that they want it to be said so that you respond in a certain way. You got to understand about science. You got to understand about guess religion too. There's certain things they say you shouldn't talk about. Politics, religion. We talk about all that shit here in the den. All the shit you ain't supposed to talk about, we talk about. And you gotta understand these preachers, there's these mega churches and guys like that, the Creflos, the Jakes, the Grays, the Olsteins, the whoever else is telling you sending your credit card money when you can't afford to pay your credit card off. They have a way of tapping into emotions. They have a way of reaching out. But you got to understand, you're not the only person on this planet with certain problems. So when they're speaking to certain individuals, it feels like they're speaking directly to you. No, there are channels through which they get this information, and it's not by God. Okay. But who am I to say? I'm just a regular man talking. But I think people get so caught up in the energy, people get so caught up in the emotions, feeling that connection that they say, that they don't think rationally. You know, we were talking about why does the preacher man need a $70 million jet? You know, and people justify it and validate it. You know, why is the preacher man driving a car that's probably more expensive than all the cars of his congregation combined? Why does he need that? You know, but people validate it, people justify it. And to me, these are things that just stand out that don't make sense to me, that I cannot agree with, that I cannot comprehend, that I cannot justify, man. You know, you have to appreciate things for what they are. And I think if people became more educated with the Bible itself, like I say, I'm not Captain Bible Man, okay? I'm not what you would call a Bible thumper or any of that stuff, even though we do live in the Bible Belt down south, and, you know, it is what it is. And it interests me when I meet people from other places that aren't, you know, I guess what you call it, because I guess maybe just in the South, it's just you expect it, and the way other people approach things, it's just, it sometimes can be a little, I wouldn't say disorienting. It's intriguing how other people respond to it. But when you talk to people in the South, generally there's a certain perspective that they have. But I think if these people took more time to educate themselves instead of being told, you know, these particular verses, and they only focus on these particular verses that the preacher or the pastor or whatever gives them, instead of really, if they were really into it, I would think that they would be taking this time on their own to, you know, gain a more in-depth knowledge of the Bible for themselves, not just from what some man is telling you it says. I mean, there's been a long history, even in the Bible, that talks about false prophets and false preachers and things like that, you know, and to never put the measuring stick to whoever it is that you follow, whoever that is that you go to get your information. And I question this. Is it ignorance from these people? Are they, you know, is it easy to prey on certain people? Because we were talking about specifically the black church, and I'm sure there's other churches that do it too, but how someone mentioned that they don't feel like the black church benefits the communities that it's in, because you're talking about poor, struggling communities, and there's a church and a liquor store on every block, and they're taking all your money, tithes, which were supposed to be what supposedly done away with in the Old Testament, right? Why does God need the money? I thought tithes were supposed to be, you know, your best offering, means whatever craft that you were in, or if you were, like, say, livestock, your best, you know, produce or whatever the fuck it was. But now it's just money. All money's the same. Doesn't matter, you know. It's not my best money. It's the money I just got out the ATM when I walked into your church. That's good enough, right? That's my best offering, just 10% or whatever else it may be. You know, we talked about the churches who check your financial statements, want to see your bank accounts. They want to see your bills. You know, they're not helping you pay any taxes. They don't pay any fucking taxes, but they want to see your bills. They want to see what you're working with. Like, I don't understand how places like this are able to thrive, how people don't see fault in these scenarios. I become perplexed. I'm kind of baffled, like, you know, because the topic last night was emotion and logic, and where's the logic? Where's the common sense that, hey, why are they so concerned with my money as opposed to, again, my salvation or my, you know, what I'm doing, you know, with my life? Preacher man, can he be trusted? He's running up in all the congregation. He's trying to have sex with married women, and, you know, they're doing some underage dirty hands at the youth pastor. Can't be trusted. There's a lot of corruption. And so when you look at it from this angle, I see why people They leave. They're like, okay, well, this is supposed to be religion. He's supposed to be ordained by God, or they're supposed to be blessed men, or whatever they are, and they're still doing dirt. So is this the best the world has to offer? I can see where people become jaded. I can see where people become slighted and feel like there's no better option. I understand it. And again, but I talk about religion, but like I said, I'm not the most well versed. It's been quite some time since I've been to a Kingdom Hall or anything like that. And I find it funny because this is about to be Easter time, right? Easter is a different thing to me too. That's a whole different conversation when we get into holidays and things. But I'm gonna say a couple more things, then I'm gonna open up the line because I really want to hear what y'all have to say because I think it's gonna get very good tonight. But like I said, I'm not necessarily a religious man at this point. But there still are a lot of ways that I approach my life from what I learned as a child, as an early teenager. That's about where it stopped. And the reason why is because a lot of this stuff had an impact on me and the way that I responded, you know. The reason why I didn't give a shit about college, the reason why I didn't give a shit about trying to go to league, anything like that. And people be sitting here telling you, you know, this. And that's why I'm not a materialistic person now, because I've never had a love for these kind of things. Like, it's necessary. Certain things are necessary to survive. But I've never been materialist. I've never had that love of money. And this is due to how I was raised. And so certain things I am thankful for, because I see people who have never been in that element and how they react to a lot of things. And some people who are, they still are greedy. I mean, that doesn't necessarily justify it. I guess it depends on what church or what religion or how you were raised and how your household is raised too. Because there's people who are just as bad in the church, outside the church. You know, there's just bad people. There's bad people, there's good people. But so I do think religion has had a very good impact on me. I think religion is growing up that way is why I'm observant of people and why I approach people the way I do now. You know, I'm generally pretty, not say cautious in how I handle people, but I'm open to listening to people. I want to know what people have to say. I want to understand people. And that's why I find people intriguing, I guess, just because of so many differences that we have. But here's the deal. Let's open up the line, man. And I'll speak on a couple other things. I got like 5 different thoughts going through my mind, and I'm trying my best not to, you know, chop everything up. So we'll save some. We'll talk about some of these things. I want to hear what y'all got to say. You know, I want to know what y'all are feeling. Let me see. Yeah, this part of the chat is fucking up. The other one is cool. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. All right. Let me see. Give me just a second. Let me see why this thing is doing crazy stuff. All right, there we go. Let's see what we have. Sheila, you came back. Excellent. I'm glad that you came back to join us. I'm glad we didn't run you off. Look, Brody, but you need to do an extended cut. I want 3 more Brody B Chronicles, goddamn. The journey continues. Let me see. Let me get the dilly dally activated. I see somebody calling in on the phone, but I don't have it connected to the phone right now. All right, we should be Gucci. And let us put this number upon the screen. All right. So, I want to know how y'all feel, man. Oh, shit, my fucking ears. All right. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
That is Beyond the Funny Nigga.
Beyond the Funny Nigga, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What do you want to drop in the den tonight, man? What are your thoughts?
I could say that I'm more of a spiritual person more than a religious person. And a lot of stuff been on my mind because I got this partner and everything, and he has like this, I don't know, but I respect his opinion, but I don't believe him anyway because the nigga be smoking weed and shit, so you can't really, you know, go by too much what he said. So basically what he's saying is like religion is just something created just to keep civilization and shit in place, to keep it, a structure and just keep certain people on top and stuff like that. It's like, I mean, it's not impossible. I get where he coming from, and the point is, personally, I do believe that there is like a good and there is an evil. I believe there are like beings and forces that go behind, good and bad. But it's just, man, I'm not saying that I believe, in the upper spirit, just in case, I don't. Last thing I want to do is just believe in something just in case it is true. Um, I don't know. Some people they do. They just claim that they're religious or something. Just to get points off of it. But I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what the hell to believe. But I can say that I do believe in the higher power and the spirit.
Okay. So, were you ever raised like in a church? Have you been to church, or you just kind of have that feeling naturally?
Yeah, yeah. Throughout my childhood, I was, in a Baptist church, but then I stopped going for a while. And, then when I did go back for a while, but then I started seeing like the stuff that was going on with the money and everything. And another thing that I don't realize is why does every church got to build another church? You ever notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as you walk in there, they need money to build another church, which don't make no sense. Nothing wrong with the first church that they got. But,
Yeah, and that's my thing because and that's what I was kind of talking about yesterday. It's agreed. Like, why are you? I mean, I understand, quote unquote, you can do it under the guise of wanting to reach more people, but why are you wanting to reach more people? Is it because more people are bringing in money, or what is it about that is that's bringing people in? But so you said so kind of the money and things like that is kind of what turned you off from the Baptist church. Have you tried any other religion? Have you looked at any other type of belief that has interested you, or you just decide that you kind of stick to what you
I
know?
mean, I just like if you make points, I'm on your team. I'm not gonna confine myself to just religion because I believe everybody's views matter. But and another reason why I stopped going is because them long ass hours, the Baptist churches and shit. So,
Okay, okay. Was the Baptist church you went to in the hood?
huh?
I said, was the Baptist church that you went to in the hood?
Yeah, it was an acre home. So I was in the bitch about 7, 8 hours. That was a whole school day.
Oh shit. Okay, okay. How many times they passed the collection plate during them 7, 8 hours?
Uh, I think twice.
Okay,
Like one for like tithes and offering shit. The last one to donate to the church.
okay, okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, all right. So that's cool. That's cool. And your homeboy. So how often do you have these conversations with your homeboy that you said that be smoking weed and shit?
Uh, he just bring it up and like anytime it pops to his head, he just be like, "Yo, man, why you believing in that nigga?" Like I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I feel like I don't want to tell him that he going to hell, because I don't want to confine somebody to something that may not be true. So I listen to him. He does have points though.
Okay, okay. All right, interesting. Okay, well that's a BET man. Beyond that's I'm glad you shared that with us, man, and maybe somebody will say something that'll maybe help you
All
get
right,
a better understanding. But I appreciate you sharing that call with us.
all right.
All right, bet. Oh shit, I forgot to add Beyond when that Neo Soul album dropped. You know what I'm saying? The second coming of music, Soul Child and shit. Um, yeah, man. Already. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
This your boy Prepaid.
Prepaid. What's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop in the den tonight, man?
Man, coolin', man. Hey, I want to give it a different approach, bro. I grew up going to church, Southern Baptist. Have a nigga in there from 7:30 in the morning to 2 o'clock in the evening on Sunday. Terrible shit. Hungry past night in there. And I'm gonna say this about myself. I appreciate my parents making us go when we was younger, because being Southern Baptist, we were really big into the scripture. Yeah. So as a kid, I went to like a lot of Bible studies, a lot of shit like that. And as I got older, I retained a lot of the scripture. So when I got older and I was making my own choice on what church I want to go into and shit like that, I realized a lot of these pastors just up here making this shit up. You can't break out no iPad and be reading no scripture to me, bro. Like, I know better than that shit. A Bible is a book. That shit y'all on is on some other shit. And truth be told, I believe that the reason why it was so efficient to me, because when you learn the scripture, it never leaves you. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was a kid, they called it the Constitution. I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. Yeah. And I went to fucking law school and knew the actual Constitution was reading back shit. You know what I'm saying? Was reading back the shit to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Without even realizing it. So in my personal opinion, it was very efficient on there. Now, let me say this also. I know I'm no longer Baptist. Okay. I actually go to a white church for a very specific reason. I go to the white church because we go to church from 11 to 11:45. Then white people ask me no questions. They don't want to know what I do for a living. They don't even pass around the collection plate. When you go to church, they have a little stand off to the side. You go over there and put your money in there whenever you do it. They never mention offering. They never mention building funds. None of that shit. 11 to 11:45 was big for me. Yeah. I watch football with my kids, so y'all can have that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not staying in church long, none of that bullshit. And the older I got, bro, I realized that religion isn't a negative thing. Religion is basically how would I put this? The ignorant versus the informed. Yeah. If you go to church and you got $40 in your bank account and the pastor says it's time for tithes, and you know you're supposed to give 10% of what you made, if you give the pastor 10% of all the money you got and your ass starved to death, you a fool, because in the Bible it said God gave man common sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, majority of the people who don't know the Bible, who don't know the scripture, gonna go out here and give all their fucking money because they don't know no better. They trying to fit in. They didn't turn church into a social club. Yeah. The white church I go to and the white churches I've been to, they ain't worried about that shit. They gonna go in there, they gonna sing 2 songs, the pastor gonna give his word. We done. Shake hands, I go to the crib. That's what I'm on. And as far as a black church, I will say this. Those are the most hypocritical motherfuckers in the whole world. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. I'm going to give y'all a prime example. After Hurricane Harvey, all I heard was ridicule for Joel Osteen. He's such a crook. Why don't he open the church up? Da-da-da-da. And then it was so funny because Joel Osteen wasn't even in Houston at the time. Yeah. Y'all want Joel Osteen to open up his church. Y'all go in there. It floods, somebody died, and y'all sue Joel Osteen for being a good Samaritan. Yet y'all all go to these black-ass churches, and when motherfuckers was out there starving and floating away in Houston, didn't nobody hold their feet to the fire. Nobody. Nobody has ever been starving, go to a black church and say, I really need y'all, and get help. But you'll sit up here and talk bad about Joel Osteen. Y'all call Joel Osteen all kind of crooks. He's the worst nigga in America. Man and wrote 8 top-selling books, made him a multi-millionaire. But y'all want Joe Olsen to go out here and save the whole city of Houston. Yet y'all been giving y'all money to y'all church y'all whole life, and the motherfuckers won't even give you a call back when you need some gas.
You ain't lying.
These are facts. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny, though, because y'all know John Graydon got jammed up. You know what I'm saying? He didn't, y'all ain't going through the man business. You know what I'm saying? Pastor Graydon got jammed up. Yeah. But it's so funny how he buys his wife from Lamborghini. I got a nigga on social media telling me, well, when you walk in the light of God, you're supposed to be blessed. Well, how can he walk in the light of God and buy his wife from Lamborghini, but y'all mad at Joe Osteen then bought a Bentley? Joe Osteen been in the game 25, 30 years. He done wrote way more books than John Gray, but I see the hypocrisy of it. Yeah. It's easy to persecute the white man who live in his life right and getting paid off of it. And just for anybody in the comments, because I haven't really looking at it right now, Joe Osteen doesn't get paid from his church. He don't accept any salary. That's been proven debunked 20 years over. If you on the top selling list for the last 18 years, you ain't got still a dime from the church. I was Googling one time, Joe Osteen gets paid between $80,000 and $200,000 for a speaking arrangement. You ain't got to steal from the church.
Yeah.
So that's just my personal belief. I feel like, man, if you get informed and do your own research, religion can't hurt you. But if you go in there and let them operate out of fear and telling you how you're gonna be damned to condemnation if you don't do certain things, and yeah, I mean they're gonna keep pimping you for your pockets. And before I get off, let me tell y'all something about tithes and offering.
Yeah.
Give what you have, bro. Give what you have. If you only got $40 to your name and you go put 20 in that collection plate, I promise you, God not gonna return 200 to you. It don't work that way. The scriptures say it don't work that way. If you go on there and give an offering and you're doing it in the case of trying to get the money back, this ain't no damn casino. you out here, you playing roulette. You put 20 on black and trying to get you double your money up. It don't work that way. God gave man common sense. You go to a church and everybody got on iPads and they telling y'all the church they need a new church and we need iPads. We need a sound bar. Look, man, grab your kids, grab your wife, and get the fuck on out of there. Go somewhere where the actual Spirit of God is there. And I'm not talking about God in any specific way. I'm talking about the Spirit of God. However you view God, if He is in that building and He is there where everybody is, that's where you need to be. Go somewhere where motherfuckers want you to be there. If they telling you want your tax returns and what you do for a living, actually, man, get up out of there. That's why they built all them churches, to give you a choice. Get your ass up out of there. That's it for me. You got any questions for me, big dog?
No, man. You came in and killed it as usual.
Push on my nigga. Fuck with me.
I already prepaid. Appreciate it. Bet. Man, look, I'm telling you, Jack. I'm telling you. That 11:45. Look, some of y'all start saying, "Oh, that sound good, huh? That 11:45 sound real good." Look, like you say, if you go in there, you're giving all your money to the church, want to get it back, it ain't coming back, and that's unfortunate. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
This is boy Broderick. Can you hear me well?
Yes, sir. Mr. Broderick, man, I've been waiting on this call. I know you was trying to get in yesterday. What would you like to drop in the den this evening?
Well, before I start, I just want to say, first and foremost, I love everybody in the den. I love people. As a Christian, that's what I not only am I supposed to do, but that's what I want to do. I want to love people, and I love everybody in the den. So being that I love y'all, and I am a Christian, it's my obligation to tell the truth. Now, that being said, I do understand that everybody doesn't want to hear the truth. Everybody doesn't believe the truth, and some people get offended by the truth. Well, most people get offended by the truth, to be quite honest. But even though, with all that being said, I got a few notes from everything we were talking about last night and some of the points that people brought up. And just to kind of piggyback on one of the things that Prepaid just said, he's on point when it comes to the whole aspect of tithing. And I think something that we misunderstand when it comes to the church and true Christianity nowadays, we live under grace right now, okay? We're living under grace because Jesus came and died on the cross for us so that we were not bound by the laws and the punishment of the Old Testament, where tithing was required. Tithing was all about the harvest, not about so much your money. You know what I mean? So if you're at a church where they're requiring you to tithe, that's not a biblical requirement for you to tithe. However, offering is a part of worship. But this is what God wants. God does not want you to give 10% of what you have. God wants whatever you're able to give it cheerfully. He does not want your money if you don't want to give it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like anybody else. I don't want no handouts from you if you really don't want to give it to me. Or I don't want your help if you really, if you feel some kind of way about giving it to me. That's the way God is. If you want to give me something, then give it willingly. Give it with a good heart. Whether it's $1 or whether it's $1,000, that's totally up to you and what you can give. And God does not bless people based on the amount of money that they give to the church. God is mysterious. He blesses people on his own will for his own reasons. We don't know why God blesses some people and doesn't bless others, because it clearly states in the Bible that there will be rich and there will be poor. There has to be both. There's a balance there. You know what I mean? God has all the power to make everybody rich, but if he made everybody rich, where would we all be? This would all be a socialist world, which is almost what this is getting to. But let me keep on. First of all, I just want to get on Christianity real quick. One thing about Christianity that, and I understand, because I grew up in a Black Baptist church myself, so I understand that a lot of people have what's called a considered church hurt, and I know why that is, because unfortunately there are a lot of false teachers and there are a lot of pulpit pimps, and that's prevalent today, and it's really ruining people, because people that don't know God on the outside to see that, and it makes them feel some kind of way, and they don't want to come to the church because they feel like the church is nothing more than a racket. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, but the thing about it is if you're truly seeking God, you can't look at the few bad apples that are produced and paint a whole swath over the religion as if, all Christians are this way. That's not true. And another thing, I grew up in the Black Baptist church. I know what people are talking about when they talk about, with churches all day and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I went through that kind of stuff back in the day, where you have, you starting off with Sunday school, then you got church service, and every freaking minister up there got to get up and say something. You're out of there at 2 o'clock, then you're back for 3 o'clock service, then the 7 o'clock service, BTU, all that. I get it, I understand, but that's not every freaking church. I go to a Black Baptist church now, and we in there at 11, we out of there about 12:30. We sing 2 songs, we pray, we have sermons, then we out of there. You know what I mean? But the whole time, we're benefiting from fellowship with each other. And that's the reason why we go to church. That's the reason why God wants us in the actual church, because it's all about iron sharpening iron, and you being around like-minded believers to help you stay on the right track, and you help everybody else stay on the right track. And at the same time, coming together for fellowship and praising God in a public space together. This is pleasing to God. You know what I mean? But is it a requirement? Yes, it is a requirement, but do you have to be there every Sunday? I don't believe you have to be there every Sunday, because one thing that we also slip on, and I know the reason why a lot of pastors' kids end up going crazy and all of this is because the pastors, while spending so much time at their church and with their church family, they neglect their own family. They neglect their own kids, But God says that what's most important is your home, because your home is a reflection of you and your character. So if your home is out of order, then you ain't got no right to be leading other people, because you're leading them into destruction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to just lay out the rules of Christianity real quick. And there's just a few short rules for Christianity and salvation. This is honestly the easiest religion to be a part of, and not only the easiest religion, but the only one that matters. And I know I may piss some people off, but I love you, so I got to tell you the truth. This is what's required for salvation through Jesus Christ. First and foremost, you have to confess that Jesus Christ is your personal Lord and Savior, sent here to die for your sins, soon to return. You have to believe that with your whole heart. That's your number one requirement. Your second requirement is to love God with all your heart and soul, your everything. God is number one in your life. You have to love him with everything, every fiber of your being. You have to love God first, foremost, and always, okay? Which is not a hard thing, because God does a lot for us, all right? The third thing that you have to do is love your neighbor, your brother, other people as you would yourself. And all this really means is treat somebody how you want to be treated. Okay? Help somebody out the same way that you would help yourself. So if you have something good that you can offer to somebody else and you withhold that from them, that you can give them and you know that they're in need, then that's sin. You're not helping your brother, you're holding back when there's something that you can be giving your brother. You know, and God is smart and God is faithful, and He will take care of you. He will meet all of your needs. He's testing us more often than not, and I'm gonna tell you why He tests us. Put it this way: let's say you're in a relationship with somebody. You don't want that person to be in a relationship based solely on what that person can provide for you. You understand? Because if you're doing that, then all you're really doing is using that person. And God is way too smart. He made you. He made everything. He knows it all. He knows exactly what you're thinking. He knows your heart. He knows everything. He knows the count of every doggone grain of sand and every blade of grass and every hair on your head. So He knows people that are trying to scheme Him. You know? So He wants you to want Him. You understand? He doesn't want someone to be a part of His body that is just in it to see what they can get out of it. All right. Now, what was I? Third, fourth? Okay. Now, here's the other thing that I want to touch on. Before I get on this, and I mean, I just want to reiterate, man, that's not a lot of requirement. You know what I mean? To be a Christian. It's not. That doesn't mean that you have to walk around, you know, being a Bible thumping and beating people over the head with the word and all of that all day and trying to have some type of persona or whatever that just shows people that you are holier than they are. You know what I mean? Because acting like that really gives Christianity a bad rap, and that turns people off. You know, so I understand that's another part of that church hurt that turns people off. Now, the other thing is somebody was mentioning last night. They went through a list of names. I don't remember who the caller was, but he mentioned Joel Osteen. He mentioned Jamal Bryant. John Gray has been mentioned. And every one of those people that was mentioned, he was absolutely right about it. Their character and the things that they do are not reflective of God.
Yeah.
You know, now Joel Osteen may be nice, he may smile a lot, he may preach a positive, prosperity message, but one thing that you're required to do as a preacher is you're required to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. You're not required to go around and tell people how the world has just got you so beat down, you know, but there's so much good in you, and you know, and there's so much that God just wants to give you, and all of this and that, you know, and just, you know, happy, prosperity. That's not the gospel of Jesus Christ. And that's what a lot of these people are trying to sell people. They're trying to sell people a dream, you know, because the thing about it is, and what a lot of people don't realize is, once you become a Christian and once you really totally give yourself to Christ, truly and fully and wholly, presenting your body and your life as a living sacrifice, that's when the shit starts. That's when the trouble starts. So a lot of these ministers that end up getting into these scandals and everything, not all of those ministers got into it for the wrong reasons. A lot of those guys got into it with a pure heart. A lot of those guys got into it, they were appointed and called by God. But we have to understand that as soon as you get that position, that you're going to get attacked by the demonic realm like you have never been attacked before. You know, that's, like I said, that's when all the shit hits the fan. That's when all of the everything that's in you that is that's been a problem for you, or maybe you had a problem with drinking, or maybe you have a problem with womanizing, maybe you had a problem with drugs, or whatever the case may be. Those things are going to be amplified attacks on your life by Satan. Why? Because he knows exactly what makes you tick. He knows how to tempt you. So he's going to put things in your path that are going to tempt you and get you off the right track. And why does he do that to your leaders? Because if he does that to the leaders, then you cannot properly lead the people. And then what you're going to do, one thing that you'll notice, you don't notice a lot of these preachers in the day preaching on hell anymore. Why? Because it's a turnoff. Nobody wants to come to church and be beat down. Nobody wants to come to church and be told about the things that you're doing are sending you straight to hell. But the other requirement for Christianity is you have to believe that there's a heaven and a hell. If you don't believe that there's a heaven and a hell, and you don't believe the word of God wholly and truly as it is in his word, then you don't believe any of it. You have to believe that there's a heaven and a hell because God created hell for the demon and his angels. God did not create hell with the intention of man having to spend eternity in hell. But man makes the choice because God ain't gonna push himself on you. Just like he ain't gonna push himself on you, I'm not gonna push Christianity on somebody that don't want to hear it. Because the word also says that if they don't want to hear it, then I'm supposed to keep it moving. I'm not supposed to beat you down with it because fortunately, God has given you grace because he woke you up this morning. If God really was tired of you, he'll take you out. But God is graceful and patient and merciful enough to keep giving you a chance every day. So every day that you wake up, you need to be thankful that he's giving you another chance to seek him, to find him, to get it right. You know what I mean? Because honestly, God could just take you out the moment you say, I don't want to, I reject you, And that's the thing about God that people don't realize. I could sit there and go on and on all day about the goodness of God, but, I don't want to be on here all night. But also, I know somebody was mentioning something about, I don't know who it was I was chatting with. They were talking about like the holidays and traditions and whatnot. Another thing that is misunderstood, God does not have a problem with you keeping your traditions, your celebrations, your holidays, and things like that. He does not have a problem with that. You're not required to not observe certain holidays or whatever. And if someone is leading you down that path saying that, this is not pleasing to God, well, that's not true. He allows you to have your traditions, as long as the traditions are not in direct blasphemous action to God. He doesn't have a problem with that, and the only religion that matters is Christianity, and all Christianity is being Christ-like. So all of those people that are going around saying that, Christianity didn't start until slavery and all this kind of crap, all that means is that you rejected Jesus Christ because you don't believe in the true Godhead, that Jesus was there in the beginning in creation. Because the word says that we make man in our own image. And he was talking about God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. 3 persons. The Holy Spirit is not some kind of energy. The Holy Spirit is an actual person, just like God is, just like Jesus is. That's another misconception. And also, the last thing that I want people to really realize is, you can be as good as you want to be in life, and it's great to be a good person. It's great to be kind to people. It's great to be loving and all of that. That's something that is awesome. But there's going to be a lot of good people in here. And I'm going to end with that.
All right, brother, man, I appreciate it. Like I said, I know you've been trying to get through for quite some time yesterday. And I appreciate you taking the time, to express your points and your views, man.
For sure.
Already. Shout out to Project, man. And I know that we had, like I said, we got into the conversation yesterday, and I know that he was wanting to get in and explain some things, and I think it was like a little bit of timing of the stream, the timing was off. And so, glad that he could join us to see what we got calling in. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening? Roman. What's the motherfucking deal, Roman? What would you like to drop in the den tonight? Ready?
Yeah. Am I muted? I'm good.
Yeah, you good.
Okay.
You was muted for a second. You good now.
I'm being Roman.
You was muted for a few seconds, but you good now.
Okay. But no, man. When it comes to religion, man, I'm a Christian to start off like that, man. So I believe in God, and the thing is, I have no problem with other religions, man. I feel like they have a free right to believe what they want to believe, man. Do I believe it's true? No. But I feel like they should have a right to believe what they want to believe. It's America, I feel it's the world, And at the end of the day, man, God loves all his children. He does, man. And, I think a lot of people reject God when it comes to this. When I wish for a wish, right? But it doesn't happen as soon as I wish for it. Like, I wish for a new car, so I'm going to close my eyes and open my eyes, and that new car is there. And it's not fair. I think that gets a lot of people if I pray and I wish so hard, why don't I get the things I want? Well, I feel like when it comes to religion, it's all about patience. It's all about patience. It's all about waiting. God gives you prayer, and He gives you stuff you want in different ways. He might give you that car 6 years from now, but He might bless you with other tiny blessings within that time you get in that car, and He's all about work. Prayer is nothing without work. And the thing is, you have to work for what you want. You can't always pray about it and like, I'm just praying about it's going to happen. He won't bless you over that. You have to work for it, and that's always I go for it. When I want something, I pray about it, but I work for it. If I know I need to pass that test, well, I'm going to study. I'm going to pray, of course. I'm going to study because I'm working while praying, and I feel like he's going to bless you over that, And when it comes to this organized religion, man, I'm not the hugest on it because I don't feel like you have to go to church to be a Christian. I feel like some people and some Christians, I feel like a lot of times the black church, oh my God, you don't go to church, you not Christian. I don't believe that. I feel like you really pray every day. We don't go to church every day. It's not because we're not Christians. It's because our church is far away. Our church is in Liberty. We live in Houston. That's a little bit of a drive.
That's out of the country, goddamn.
I'm just saying. There we go. People work and we go to school. I mean, you ain't got time like that. But that doesn't mean we don't love God. We're not praying like that. Yeah. And like the dude said before me, man, Christians get a bad rap. You got these, in my opinion, these T.D. Jakes and Joe Osteens and all them that I feel like, and all these other pastors that you see, and they say all this hateful and, if you're not Christian, you don't do this and this and this way hate gay people. No. I feel like that makes people hate Christians. That's why people like, I'm atheist. I hate Christianity. What you're saying is bullshit. Well, Christians is not like that. We're peaceful people. We preach for peace. That's all we are. We follow the model of Jesus Christ, like the guy said before me. And Jesus was whole. He gave his life for his sins, man. So that's how we should live. Now, is anybody perfect? I'm not saying anybody's perfect because nobody is perfect. But be the best person you can, and that's being a Christian. If you can't be 100 and you can't be perfect like Jesus, you try your best to be a 98, a 99. You'll never be 100, and you have to face that you know what, everything I'll do is not right, but you know what, I'm okay because I know that what I'm doing, basically it's like this. I know I'm not perfect, but I'm okay with not being perfect. I'm okay with not getting everything I want. I'm okay with working hard for it. And God will really repay you for you working hard for what you want or what you grind for. And yeah, that's all I got, man. Like I say, when it comes to this is my last point. When it comes to this Notre Dame situation, man, I have a little thing with these cathedrals. A lot of these old cathedrals, man. This I'm about to go in history, Roman. You look, the Notre Dame was built in 1131, before the Crusades. And the Crusades did a lot of massacres, a lot of still killings of towns and people in the church. And God doesn't bless that. And, you know, looking at all these videos I've seen and really them going into the Roman Catholic Church and under the Catholic Church, they praise foreign gods like Medusa and Jupiter and Pluto, who, you know, those Greek gods, you know, and they're not real, you know, and God doesn't bless stuff like that. You know, God's a selfish God, and I think a lot of people don't like that line. Oh, for me to believe why he has to be selfish, man, well, he's going to lead you into the right situation, you know, and like I said, I have no problem with other religions or other people who believe anything else. I don't. You know, like I say, that's your freedom. But that's me, man. You know, and like I say, this God talks to you in different ways. Like, you know, when I feel like when God's talking to me, Honcho, I'll be honest with you. I see the moon. I just seen the moon tonight. It's saying every time I see the moon, I feel like if I'm gonna do something, the moon was there, and I know, okay, you know, he's talking to me. He got me. I'm good. You know, so all you gotta know is, you know, you gotta believe. You gotta take faith sometimes with a grain of salt. You gotta do a leap of faith. You have to walk on a tightrope. You know, you can't always. I don't always live my life in logic and fact. At times, you do have to live your life, but you also need to have sometimes faith. You know, when you're watching a basketball game, let's be honest, Honcho, or you just watching a game in period. Yeah, it's about the numbers and this person having this much of points or this person getting this many touchdowns or yards. But as a fan, you have faith that your team is just going to do it. And that's life. You have to have some facts and numbers, but also you can have a little faith that it's going to happen. So that's how I live my life, man. And this is my last question for you. This is my question for you, Honcho, man. So what are you?
I am just a human being at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I have no religious affiliation. Like I say, I do have. Like I say, I grew up, you know, with a Christian faith. That does still have some impact on the way that I see certain things. But I would not call myself a Christian. I'm not practicing. I'm not following any kind of tenets and or guidelines. But again, like I said, I have no disrespect to anything anybody else believes. But there, like I said, there are parts that I still, you know, utilize. Now I got a question for you though, Roman. So you say you go to church out there in the country with the alligators and shit. Are you Baptist?
Hey, Liberty ain't that damn country. I mean, they do be eating raccoons out there, so you might be right.
Liberty country. I got folks out in Liberty, goddamn. Now it's been a minute since I've been out there. They might have made a come up, but they ain't came up that far. But you know, like, are you Baptist? Is Baptist what you believe?
No, we're non-denominational.
No,
That means we're not under anyone.
Okay.
We're not under Catholic, Baptist. We're under nothing. We're just really just Christians. All we do is really just pray, you know, and that's why I have a problem with, you know, there's been so many wars where the Catholics have had arguments or hell wars with Baptists. At the end of the day, we believe Jesus died for our sins. At the end of the day, we pray. Why do we hate each other? What's the organized religion? At the end of the day, we all pray to God, and that's the part I don't believe in. At the end of the day, we all Christians. So no, with my family and me, we're under just non-denomination. We just pray. We're under nobody. So that's what we are. Honcho.
Okay. Well, how long do you go to church? Because I'm recording church times here to see who church I'm gonna go to. Right now, prepaid Mike went with the 45 minutes. Brother's church is a little long. His church about an hour and a half. I don't know if I'm going down.
My church, Liberty, goddamn it, man. That's a good album, bro. You better get up. You know.
Ooh, I don't know, man.
mean, Liberty, you go over that goddamn bridge. Yeah. You know, you see the old trainway. It ain't gonna take it that long, but. You know, we drove it millions of times, so it was easy enough.
But how long? But how long do you actually have to sit in the church?
You black, you know black churches, man. You been there for a good 2 hours, man.
Man, unfortunately, I've never been raised in the black church. Like I said, I was Jehovah's, so I might have seen one passage.
You was knocking on niggas' doors.
Man, look, yeah, you know, see, like I was deezed up. I was making motherfuckers convert. Like, hey, look. You about to come to this Kingdom Hall, punk.
I mean, you got people. I sometimes Jehovah's Witnesses walking down, knocking down. I gotta go up there, high as hell, talking to me. It's like, come on, man.
God damn. But okay. Well, that's the best though. So you're non-denomination about 2 hours. Okay. So I ain't going to look. I'm going to prepaid Mike Church so far because y'all taking a minute. If I convert, I'm gonna find out where Mike go to the white church. There's some white churches around me, so I should be good. But that's the bad Roman man.
Man, come on, you need that black gospel. You know,
Man,
you
look,
need some
I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't much for the fashion shows, you know, and the shenaniganery, you know, preach up there moonwalking and shit. You know, I don't need all that.
I get it. You know, another thing I don't like is when, you know, the preacher preaches one thing, but he don't go by what he preached. You know, I don't believe in that. Preach what you preach, but mean by it. You know. So I get what you mean by black churches. Black churches have the biggest haters. You know, we hate each other so much in church, but we're supposed to be praying. That's the sad part.
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah. So, you know, but it's all good, man.
I get what you mean, Honcho, man. I get what you mean. So,
yeah, look,
the
preacher
only
might.
thing you're gonna be missing out, you're gonna be missing on that black food, though.
Man, I don't know. Preacher might be sitting on some big rims, you know what I'm saying? I might be jealous, and that nigga sitting on some 24s. I only got some 22s over here. That old hoe ass nigga. No, let me stop, man. Let me stop. But that's a bad man, Roman. Man, I appreciate your call, though, man. I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah, man, man. I'm sorry for everybody. I know I went a little long, man. I'm sorry, but hey, I just had to get that out.
It's all good. We in here preaching tonight, man. It's all good, man.
All right. Talk to you later, man.
All right, you too. Shout out to Roman, man. You know, look, y'all trying to make Roman seem like I just Roman. It was like 3 seconds. Y'all really tripping. But it's good hearing everybody's, you know, opinions and thoughts. You said, do I think the Bible being revised over 100 times makes it credible? Look, man. Already. 30 minutes, that's what I'm talking about. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got called into the den this evening? D motherfucking Love. What you want to drop in the den tonight, D Love?
Yeah, first off, I was trying to call into the South line, but I kept getting beat, and I had to go to sleep and go to the gym. But no, so about religion, I want to start off by saying it is quite gratifying that there are people who also share my faith in here, because there's not a lot of people around like where I'm at right now that share the same views. So and I'm talking about Christianity in case y'all were wondering. So yeah, I mean I heard some of the callers. I heard some people spill their thoughts about how they feel about Christianity, and for me, I don't really view it as religion, because you know that's religion, but I view it more as a way of life. But I mean that's just me, you know. But to be honest with you, as devout I am towards this faith, I'm not that, you know, I haven't really been fluent in it, so I'm not even gonna front. I will be honest, I haven't been devout as I should have been. Christianity, no, I think that's just like maybe more of a modern day label. But a disciple, that is what I strive to be and struggle with. Like the Bible, I started reading it back in like 2015, and even though to this day I haven't even finished it because I started falling off, and I started backsliding. So to me, I can't even consider myself a Christian, you know, because I'm lukewarm, you know, if that makes sense. And in the Bible it says that the Lord will it'll spit me out, like, because I'm lukewarm. And you know, it's either like I'm fully committed to Him, I'm not. I mean, that's what it says. So you know, that's hard to say. Like, I really. And I heard somebody else mention hell, and you know, he was saying that you got to believe in heaven and hell, stuff like that. And I do believe in heaven and hell, but you know, not how like the media often portrays it. Both of them. I believe hell is a very terrible place to go, and like other callers said, it's very eternal. And like I told you the other day, I'm afraid to die because of that. You know, I feel like if I was to take my last breath, as of right now, I can almost guarantee that I will go to hell, just because not only will I go to hell, but then I will get a worse punishment than, you know, somebody who doesn't believe in Christ and haven't given him or herself to Christ. Only because like because I knew the Lord, you know, and I backslid and stuff like that. So I often put it like this, because in the Bible, the Lord says that you it'd be better that you not, you know, that you not known. Than, so it's like you're in a relationship with a woman, and you know, if she tell you that it's better that we walk away, or it's better that we just go our separate ways, that's fine. But if she tell you that it's better that you never have even met me or you never even approached me, that's kind of that's gonna be more of a burden. So that's kind of how I look at it. Whenever you say that it's better that you haven't even that you never even came to the faith, because if I go to hell, I'm gonna get a worse punishment, and that's how I feel about it. And that often scares me because I know that I can, like, my death is imminent. You know, I travel a lot, even on planes. So you know, if we get into a plane crash, if I get hit by a bus, or you know, I struggle with sleep apnea. So if one day I just don't wake up, I'm gonna be in trouble. So that's kind of my take on Christianity. I mean, I don't believe you can just call yourself a Christian and then, you know, I believe that your faith has to have works. I understand that you don't. It's not your works that get you into heaven. It's more of your faith. But I mean, uh, how do I want to say this? Faith without work is dead faith. I guess that's how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So last thing I want to say is, for all the Christians that are in there, here's a request. Like I do believe in prayer and stuff like that, and I've been backsliding, and as of right now, I feel like that I'm in a hot seat. I'm in like I'm playing with fire basically. I'm in a very terrible position, and if y'all can, like, if y'all can just like pray for me. I mean, I know it's a day and it's not church service, but I do believe in prayer. So if y'all can just pray that I get like back on track, just keep me in your prayers and stuff like that. That that'll really help me as well, because
But like you just said,
yeah,
though, right? Faith without works is dead, so they can pray for you, but you got to do the work, right?
exactly. Do have to do the work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But no, just go ahead and I appreciate that, Hunter. You're absolutely right. And so just pray that the Lord just give me strength. That's what I want to say. Just give me strength. And
I think you'll
so
be all right.
that's all I want. You say
No,
what?
I think you'll be all right because the fact that you recognize it. I mean, you just if that's your belief, you just have to act on it, man. I mean, especially if you feel that way, you feel that fear, you know, then you have to act on that and again ASAP because you don't want to. You know, if that's truly how you feel, then that has to be. And again, I'm not trying to egg anything on, but it has to be a little bit of a internal torment if you feel like you want to. You know that you're not doing something right. You know what you should be doing, and you feel like at any moment, you know, especially with what I'm doing in my current career, anything could happen. You know, you
Exactly.
may have to start acting. Stop tormenting yourself, man. Stop putting yourself under that pressure. So do what you know is right, man.
Exactly. I appreciate that, Hunter.
Yeah. Definitely appreciate you call it, need love. Um, Heidi is a sinner. Okay, that's why I don't be trying to read the chat. But I seen April, I seen Ray Ray putting some good stuff in there, so I've been trying to catch in and trying not to miss stuff because it ain't letting me copy paste. I'm getting a hand cramp and shit. Y'all got me writing a whole bunch of stuff. But again, hey, y'all feel free to call it, man. This is what the deadline is for, man. Express yourself, express your thoughts, whatever's on your mind. Call in, and I just seen that. Don't be scared. Can't be scared. Uh, beyond the funny thing, you was talking about, you know, the Bible being rewritten so many times. I mean, what can truly be done about that? Because there's so many languages that don't directly translate. We can't even translate English to Spanish properly, you know, without some of it being lost in translation. So I think that you have to. That's just kind of what's gonna go with now. whose hands are on these translations, that's where it becomes an issue. That's where it's a problem. But you know, you got to take it. I mean, you got to get the information as you can. You know, if that's what you believe, if that's what you in, then you have to you have to embrace the information any way you can get it. There's so many easy ways to undermine something, especially if you have it. I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but I'm saying there's a lot of people who do this. There's so many ways to easily to undermine something without understanding or without having any real knowledge of it. You know, like, take this call and I'll come back to that in just a second. Remind me of that, because I'll be forgetting shit. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling into the den this evening? Hello, April. Man, glad you called in. I see you being heavily requested in the chat. What would you like to drop in the den this evening? No need to be nervous. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's me. I'm sorry. Man, I apologize. I hit you with the Roman. God damn it. That's my fault. I hit you with the Roman. I apologize. Miss April, if you don't mind, could you please repeat that for everybody, because they didn't get a chance to hear it.
Sure. Okay, as Ray Ray stated, I have written a book called God's Love Language, the Bible's instructions on how to speak it. It's not a new concept. It became most popular right around 2009. We call it the Awakening. And basically it is people who are Christian who follow the whole Bible, meaning all of the laws that we can follow that do apply. And we do not celebrate feasts like Christmas or Easter. We celebrate the holy days as stated in the Bible. One of the gentleman that called in, I enjoyed his call. However, I did have quite a few disagreements with his viewpoint as far as being a Christian. Yes, it is stated in the Bible that you are to love God and that you are to love your neighbor. However, in order to do those things, it is encompassed in the Torah and the law. Okay, I'll calm down. I'm sorry, I'm speaking really fast because I'm nervous. The Yeshua or Jesus died for our sins. He died so that we are not under the punishment of the law. If you say that he died to abolish the law, then you are basically saying that he did not need to die. It's a paradox, because you're saying that he erased sin. So he has no sin to die for.
Interesting.
Because the Bible itself in John states that sin is transgression of the law. Transgression means to break the law. The law, as stated in the Bible, is the Torah.
So I got a question, Ms. April, if you don't mind me just kind of stopping for just a second.
Sure.
You said something, and this is really interesting because I saw this argument being presented yesterday, and what you said, Yeshua or Jesus, right? And we're referring to the same individual we're referring to, right?
Either or. I think power is in both names.
Okay.
I've seen demons rebuked with the name of Jesus, and I've seen them rebuked with the name of Yeshua. Just his mama named him Yeshua.
Okay, because I saw the argument is a lot of people say, well, the letter J, because this was an argument that was going on yesterday in the chat. Well, the letter J, how could he have been named Jesus? Because the letter J wasn't formed until like the 1500s or something like that. And so that's why I was asking about that. So I think that kind of covers a question that a lot of people had yesterday.
Basically, when they transliterated the scriptures or the Torah in the story of Yeshua into the Greeks don't have a Y so they changed it to an I. And somewhere along the transliteration, it got changed to a J. A lot of people, for some reason, I've seen this go around the internet, and it drives me insane. They think that the name Jesus means earth pig, which is not accurate. Don't believe every meme you read.
That was unexpected. I've never heard of it. Oh man, I'm gonna stop. That sounds crazy. Okay. All right, yeah.
People just throw things out there, you know.
Oh man, that. I have a feeling that's going to be a thing in the den for a couple of days now. Earth pig. Okay. And so, Miss A, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, I was praying, and I prayed to God, or Yahweh, what can I do to further the kingdom, to spread your word, to help with the gospel, as well as try and help make a little money for my family. And the title of the book and the kind of the basic inception of the cover popped into my head, and I knew right then and there I was supposed to write a book. And I just, I did a study, and this book's filled with scripture to back my viewpoints, as well as the Strong's Concordance, which is like the main translation they used of the Hebrew and Greek words, to back my definitions. So, I mean, if you're interested at all in anything having to do with Christian religion, if you have questions or even feel like you're lacking in the spirit, like I go to church and I pray and I'm just not getting it, I'm not feeling it, I feel like it's wrong, or I feel like something's stupid, try reading my book. And I always say start from Genesis and drop every misconception or preconceived notion you have about what you learned in church, what you were told in Sunday school. Drop it all, forget it. Act like you were on a desert island and you grew up with no knowledge of it, and read the Bible from page 1 and see what happens. Your whole viewpoint will change, because the back part of the Bible backs up the front part. And the thing about tithing, I wanted to get into this as well, because you were right. Tithing was about what you had, your crops. Certain sacrifices were made at certain times of the year or for certain sins. The actual tithing itself, or the sacrifice, was to feed the Levitical priests, because Levitical priests were not allowed to own land or property. So you were basically feeding God's workers, which I can see the correlation with tithing now, but there are no Levitical priests and the temple is no longer. And, the Levites weren't driving Bentleys.
And they'd had the swag if they did. And so you said that it's God's love language, the Bible's instructions on how to read it?
How to speak it.
How to speak it, okay.
When, like, if you get married or go to a marriage counselor or whatever, usually they tell you to read this book called The 5 Love Languages. And it's like how to communicate better with your partner, how to, if they love gifts, how to, give them gifts if gifts is not something you're really into, things like that. And this is basically just a kind of a little spin-off of the title, because the Bible does tell you exactly how to talk to God, how to speak the love language that He wants you to, which is obedience and loyalty to Him. Oh, holidays. James wanted me to remind holidays.
Yes.
Easter, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Lent, Mardi Gras, all the fun ones are all steeped in paganism. And the Bible speaks specifically about celebrating God as the pagans celebrated their gods, and not to do it. It's an abomination to Him. That's why He gave you Sukkot and Passover, which we're going to be celebrating tomorrow, unleavened bread. For Sukkot, you go out camping for a week and partying with your friends and celebrating God. I mean, that's kind of awesome to me.
That's cool. And that's interesting now because, like I say, because my main attachment, like I say, it's been years, was being a Jehovah's Witness. And so I kind of compare everything to that. And when you're saying like about not celebrating any of the holidays, because they never celebrate any of the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
People always ask me about, well, why you can't be a Christian if you don't celebrate the holidays. But I was like, well, there's always like some type of pagan roots to this.
Right.
And, I always wonder about where's the rabbit getting eggs from. I think that's what the fertility thing or something. Like,
yeah, it's from Ishtar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so, and just a lot of these other things have different correlates, if not the exact day, but very close to the same days or whatever it may be. And so that's why I said I find it very interesting that I see that similarity there. So that's neat.
Yeah, I mean, there is a similarity with it, but you also have to look at it. Jehovah's Witness, you don't celebrate anything, right? Like birthdays or nothing?
There's nothing.
Like, I had a boss who, she completely turned from Jehovah's Witnesses because she couldn't celebrate birthdays with her kids or anything fun. Yeah. And, but he gives you the holidays, and they're glorious holidays. There's only one holiday that is really meant for mourning or fasting. It's one day, and the rest of them is joyous occasions, and there's reasonings for it. It's in my book. The reasonings for the I think Yom Teruah. I want to say it's Yom Teruah. My brain's kind of low right now, but I go through all of the major holidays and all of the holy days in the book, as well as the laws that apply to us today, because there are some laws that do not. We do not have a temple. We do not have Levitical priests. We do not have sacrifices. We don't have a government that is based in Torah law. So no, we can't stone homosexuals at the gate or whatever. And no, you don't go stoning your babies for drawing on the walls. I hate that argument. Oh my God. So you're going to stone your kids? No, listen up. This is for adult kids my 2-year-old's not drinking and carousing with women. At least not that I know of.
That'd be bad business. I'm trying to write this in the chat, so I wish I put it in here right. It's the Bible's instructions on how to speak it.
On how to speak it. It's my name, April Ray, as the author. You can put my name in on Amazon, and it'll pull it up. I've got it on Kindle and paperback, and also I have it on the Lender's Library and Kindle Unlimited. If you're low on funds and you're a member to those, you can get them free. So, I mean, I've not had somebody tell me bad things about it yet, but most of the people that have read it are my friends, so they may not say bad things about it.
We're gonna see how much. Like I can't promise that I will, but I know we have some Christians in here, so I'm definitely going to see if we can encourage some of them to check it out and get some of those that are more active Christians, and maybe y'all can get something from it. So definitely get that.
I mean, it's basically written for the Christians who go to Sunday church, who follow gospel as told today in church. And unfortunately, it's not accurate. Hold on one second. People do not fear God anymore. And it says to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. You are supposed to. God is not a genie. He is not a magic 8-ball. People treat him like, Yahweh forgive me, they treat him like the side piece. They go to him when they want something, and when they get it, they go away. And unfortunately, the Bible talks about people who it says, turn from me, you workers of iniquity, I never knew you. And they're going to say, Lord, Lord, didn't I prophesy in your name? Didn't I do works in your name? The Bible speaks specifically on those people. And it's unfortunate because they really believe they're doing it. They really believe that they're doing it, but they don't feel it. They're not working it out in their heart. They don't love Yahweh as they are supposed to.
Appreciate the love, Miss Marie Lovely. Okay. Man, that's interesting. And I can tell you definitely have a passion for what you're speaking, and that's good to see that authenticity.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me to call and speak my piece and asking questions. I really appreciate it. I've enjoyed this conversation.
Man, thank you. I have too. Like I said, I've learned a couple of things. Like I say, if I can't say that I'm finna convert. I'm not saying that I'm going to, but I definitely may if I have some questions. Reach out maybe through Ray to get to you, and maybe you guys can.
Absolutely. We'll be more than willing to talk to anybody who wants to ask questions. Hold on.
Hey, Honcho, that 45 minutes ain't nothing. We can hook you up with a 30-minute session.
Oh, okay. Well, Ben, look. I ain't going to prepaid church no more. I'm going to the 30-minute session, goddamn. But definitely. But that's a bit. Miss April,
mercy.
I sincerely appreciate you. I know you said you were a little nervous at first, but I think you got into it pretty good. And I appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me on your show. Have a blessed night.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Bye.
I've been saying goddamn a lot, so my fault. Am I throwing off the religious conversation saying that? But thank you, Miss April, and I appreciate that. And thank you, Ray, for encouraging to call in, because like I said, I think that again, a lot of this is going to help some folks out. I definitely think some folks are going to get some stuff from it. Marie, love, appreciate the love. Let's see what we got going on. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Gotta be me again.
Well, what's the motherfucking deal, Professor Trio? What you want to drop in the den tonight, man?
Man, I was hoping that Miss April, sweet lady that she is, didn't get caught up in this napalm. But it seems like she is. God damn it. Okay. Here's the deal.
All right.
I will preface my comments by saying I never finished reading the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I do know the stories. I had the little book of Bible stories when I came up. I grew up with Jehovah's Witness, a lot like you, Honcho.
You got the yellow
so
book?
I understand. Yes, the yellow book with red writing on the front. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. Yes, that same very book. Yeah, I had that book read it from cover to cover quite a few times.
Yeah.
So I'm going to preface my comments by saying that I don't know exactly what the Bible says, but I get the gist of it.
Yeah.
This is what I can't stand about some of you religious motherfuckers. And Broderick, especially you. Now I understand why you turned out to be a Republican. I get it. I get it. And then you have somebody co-sign the shit. There's a lot of good people in hell. If there's good people in hell, then what the fuck is the point? I thought that's where the fuck the bad people's supposed to go. Now I understand. You looking at heaven and hell kind of like our justice system. Our justice system is fucked up. You got a lot of innocent motherfuckers in prison. But if God's supposed to be perfect, how does he fuck that up by putting the wrong people in hell? I don't understand. How can he be perfect but still fuck up at the same time? And then y'all saying that we got to fear him. Fear him for what? For what? Then y'all make him seem like he's this jealous, vindictive asshole. Or you should just be happy that God woke you up this morning. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? It's kind of like, why should you be fired from a job that you're doing well at? If you're here doing what the fuck it is you're supposed to do, why would he take you from here? Why would he let you go? Don't understand that. It don't make sense to me. And then you saying, well, you don't love him enough. You got to praise him every day. Most people only come to him when they need something. Yes, and this is my deal. Because a lot of people say that, well, no, you should pray all the time. No, I don't. I shouldn't pray all the time. Look, I'm okay. There's a lot of other people in this world that need more help than me right now. Seriously. And that's how I look at it. I'm not out here starving. I'm not out here struggling. These other people need prayers and need him to look after them. I'm good where I'm at. Okay? If I get to finally to deal with something that I just can't foresee, I don't know where to go next, and I ran out of all my other resources, he got infinite amount of resources. I will go to him last. I'm not going to go to him first. That's just the way I think about it. You know who I rely on first and foremost? My goddamn self. That's who I rely on. Now, that's just a personal thing. So if you choose not to do that and do your own thing, by all means, go ahead. But you can't sit up here and tell me that my way is fucked up, that I don't feel the same way about him that you do because I don't talk to him every day. There's certain things, and I do talk to him. You know, sometimes I'm not just talking to myself. I'm speaking out loud, bouncing my ideas back and forth, going around and inside my head. And if he happens to listen and decides to bless me with a vision or to give me a sign or some shit like that, then yeah, I'm going to take it. But I'm not sitting up here just asking for it. I don't feel like I should have to rely on him for each and every fucking thing. If I can't rely on myself, then what the fuck am I doing? Seriously. So, I disagree with that point of view. I understand where it's coming from, but I don't know. I think I don't know. I guess you could call it pride, you can call it foolishness, or whatever. That's just your opinion. I don't understand that logic. Like, it doesn't logically make sense. You got other people that need help, but you'd rather keep it with yourself just so you could make this relationship blossom, and it's pretty much a one-sided relationship. It just is. Just factual. You make it seem like he just come down and literally whisper something in your ear. It's not how it works. But yet you still have to have faith. And yeah, I can have faith, but I just might not rely on that faith as much as you. That don't make you no better than me. And that don't make me no better than you. I'm not saying it works either other way. Your relationship with him is your relationship. If you just stay in tune with your relationship and you do what you feel you need to do to keep your relationship going, you shouldn't have nothing to say about nobody else. That's how I feel about it. Nothing. So I don't like people infringing on how I feel about shit. Well, you could do all this other good stuff and yet you still going to hell. Well, goddamn, my nigga. just take all the wind out of my sails, bro. Like, okay. So what you're saying is that there's good people in hell, there's fucked up people in heaven? So if it's got to be true one way, why can't it be true the other way? So he just going to throw your ass up there because you believe this certain religion or whatever out of all these other religions who read that. And this is the thing that kills me the most. And where I disagree with Broderick the strongest, when he said Christianity is the only religion that matters. All these other different religions come from the same fucking stories and the same fucking book, but it's all these different interpretations of the same shit. But it comes from the same fucking place. So how do you know which one is correct? You don't know, you just choose to believe one. But you don't know. Which is what faith means. Faith don't have nothing to do with knowledge. Absolutely nothing. It's just a belief. It's some way how you feel. Not something that you see. Not something that you can tangibly do or tangibly know. It's just something that you feel. It's an emotion. I'm not an emotional person. I'm a logic person. That's why I find it hard to understand this shit. And the church thing, it ain't about the church or the building or what it represents. I don't have faith in people. I don't. So the people that's in the church is what turns me off. It's not what they trying to say. It's the shit that they do. How they can go in this certain building and then say all of this shit and then retort this shit or bring it back through each other, learning this shit together, and then as soon as you walk out that door, you back to some fuck shit. I can't ride with that. I can't. I mean, as soon as you walk down them steps outside, you back on the fuck shit. What the fuck was you in there for? You didn't learn a damn thing. What's the point? I don't get it. So, but if that's what you need, just to make it through the day, to wake up the next day, to make you feel good enough to where you can keep going in life and pursuing what you want to pursue, I understand and I don't knock it. But all I'm saying is that it's not for me. That's all I'm saying. Don't come for me. That's basically what I'm saying in a nutshell. I'm not saying that any of this shit is right because I'm just saying you don't know if it's right or not. I'm not saying that I know because I don't. I just don't believe. I don't have that same faith that y'all do. I don't. It just don't come for me. That's all I'm saying.
So Jay Dizzle, today you have been having to defend your faith in fandom. Fandom.
My what?
I say you've been having to defend your faith and your fandom.
Yeah, today. And it's not that I'm getting outright attacked. I'm just saying that y'all have to understand there's more to it than just how simple that y'all try to make it seem sometimes. And then y'all got all of this other stuff that he said that, what did he say? That the God, the Holy Spirit, and something was 3 different entities. I don't even get all that. I don't even understand it, so it's hard for me to speak on it. So I bow out on that, bro. I don't, because I don't understand that stuff. It's just a lot of it it's hard to believe. It is. You know what I'm saying? So you'd have to understand how, I mean, just commonsensically, you have to understand why people wouldn't believe in some of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you just saying, well, I'm just trying to tell you the truth. It's not the truth because you feel that way. That don't make it true. There has to be something tangible behind it. And it's not. It's just a bunch of stories told from generation to generation that somebody finally decided to write into a book. They supposedly had 10 Commandments etched in stones. Where they at? Where they at? Somebody came down the mountain with some tablets. Where the tablets at? We still got fucking pyramids and shit out in the desert. Where them tablets at? We don't have no tangible proof. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't believe.
Or was that just in the movie?
Say what?
So wasn't it like 3 tablets, but one of them got broke, or was that just in the movie?
Oh, I don't know. I never heard nothing about the 3rd tablet. I thought it was just 2 of them. And if it was, I'd be curious to what the other 5 commandments would be. Now that's I'm curious about that. That would be interesting to know. But I do agree with what the 10 Commandments say. I think that everybody should live by that.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think if you were just to follow that in itself, I think we'd all be the world would be a much better place. But I know I saw something. I can't remember. It's been a long time. I told you I ain't been to church in a minute. I ain't been in what you would call a house of God in quite some time. I just remember seeing a tablet fall or something. I'm like, I don't know if that was in the movie. I don't remember seeing that in the Bible. I remember seeing that visual somewhere.
Yeah. And here's another thing that I just kind of want to just add in. Mm-hmm. If somebody came up to you and was telling you that they were Jesus Christ, what would it take for them to do and or say for you to believe that person?
Oh, man.
I'm just curious about that. And I want y'all to be realistic. Because you know how skeptical we are, especially nowadays. There's a lot of shit that you can see with your eyes that you still wouldn't believe.
Yeah, because what's interesting is that church just burned down. And there was a meme or whatever going around. Somebody was saying, this golden cross is still here while the rest of the church burned down. If this doesn't tell you it's an act of God, I don't know what is. And then somebody came with the science and was like, well, wood burns at a much lower temperature.
Gold has a much higher melting point. Yeah. What the fuck you mean?
Yeah.
That's just what you choose to believe. Mm-hmm. But we can tangibly prove why it was survived. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying that there are some things that have happened that can be explained by science. I'm not saying that because there's a bunch of shit that go on and some freaky shit. You know what I'm saying? So what else could you chalk it up to? So, okay, I give you that point. Everything can't be explained logically. But I mean, shit, mostly everything can. I'd rather just stick with the percentages. I just would.
Interesting. And we've had some very interesting views and takes tonight. So this is one of the better dens that we've had, man.
Yeah. And I'm not locking nobody's religion, bro. I'm not. I always say whatever it takes you to get through the day, bro. Do that shit, believe that shit.
No.
But don't shit on me and mine. Don't do that. That's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna let y'all have it. I know how to pass my 5 minutes.
No, you're all good, man. Appreciate the call there, Professor Trio.
All right, man.
All right.
That damn phone.
Man, again, and y'all know me. Like I said, I have questions. Sometimes I'm gonna stir the pot. Sometimes, because I'm very intrigued. Like I say, when it comes to talking to people, and seeing and understanding views. So sometimes, don't always look at, because I know folks like, oh, I just said this, I just want to know. It doesn't mean that I'm encouraging any particular kind of behavior. I just want to know. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, man, this prepaid, I'm very disgruntled right now.
What's the motherfucking deal, prepaid? What's got you upset, man?
Jay Dizzle, you put me in timeout, nigga. April is definitely not your wife. There's no way that woman's married to you. She talking about all this stuff with the Lord, and you call back talking about you don't believe in none of that shit. So you put me in timeout for no reason. Can't get them 5 minutes back, Jay Dizzle. All I wanted was to celebrate Christmas and Easter. See niggas wearing Stacey Adams, you know what I'm saying, and wide leg Steve Harvey suits, and you put me in timeout over that. When I'm laying on my Honcho, when I'm laying on my deathbed, bro, ain't the money and the cars and the hoes, none of that mean, and all I'm gonna want is some time. Jay Dizzle took something from me I can't get back. So I need you, Jay Dizzle, to message me and tell me how you can get my time. I need my time back. I'm reclaiming. I want my 5 minutes back. You better come up with something. But no, man. On a serious note, man. I listen. Broderick and him is way deeper in the Bible than I am. But Jay Dizzle, I will tell you this: the reason why he said good people are in hell, because in the Bible it said that good deeds will not get you into the kingdom of heaven. So that means to all the, the good motherfuckers who, go help the little kids out, or a person help the woman walk across the street when she old, need help. That's not enough to get you into the kingdom of heaven. Good deeds don't get you there. That's what that's interpreted as. Now, as far as the, different shit with you and Broderick, you want to break it down with him. But I can give you, answer some questions on the surface of a lot of shit as far as how that goes. So, but nonetheless, I ain't even here to answer all that. I need some answers on how I'm going to get my fucking 5 minutes back you took from me. Because April is not your wife, and you taking something from me that can't be brought back. So he need to be telling me something good. Let the nigga call back in.
Already. That's a beat. Shout out to prepaid.
And look, when you find out about that 30-minute church, nigga, say something, because I'd rather go for 30 minutes than 45. That's just me.
I'm gonna check it out.
Nigga, football waits for no man.
Look, I'm gonna let you know how I go down.
All right, I got NFL Sunday ticket. Nigga, I pay $230 every year for that shit. I'm not missing no games, so you do what you want to. Y'all can say what y'all want to about me. I don't care. Fuck with me.
That's a bet. Shout out to prepaid, man. Oh man. Oh, that's so funny. Man say he need his time back, man. Look, he took his time. That's the one thing we can never recoup, man. We can't never get that back, man. Hold on 1 second. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
You know who it is.
Yeah, you gotta rebut that.
I backs down from no challenge. First of all, goddammit, your ass obviously needs to be hooked on phonics. I clearly said it was Ray Ray's wife, not my wife. I never said that, and you even wrote it in the chat. I corrected you, and DeMarcus corrected you. Then you called in and said the shit again. Not my wife. I'm not married. I've said this many times. I'm single. So why in the fuck would I all of a sudden come up with a wife one day? Don't make sense. Number two, fuck your 5 minutes, nigga. How about that? You let the lady get out a few sentences, and the first thing you typed was, hang up on her. I'm not going to miss out my Christmas. I got kids. It was the part where you said hang up on it. You ain't even let the lady talk none. And she's the wife of an OG in the chat. That don't cost you 5 minutes. So,
man, but
there it is.
But you said something, you know, it's side chicks everywhere who gonna disagree with you about that where just niggas just popping up with a wife all of a sudden. You know, it's some chicks who done been fucking with a nigga for a couple of years that are just now probably finding out that nigga got a wife. So it happens. It happens. But yeah.
No, not me, Cliff. I don't go down like that. Not unless Oprah trying to give a nigga half. Hell yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
You got to whoop that nigga Stedman, man. You know, he been taking them boxing classes and shit.
Fuck that nigga.
That's a BET,
Shit,
man.
all that money, I can get Floyd Mayweather to train me. Shit.
You heard
We
me?
just throwing money together. Fuck you talking about?
Already.
But anyway, I just want to defend myself. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all do. And fuck you, Heidi. Tired of you talking shit on me in the motherfucking chat. Yeah, I be timing niggas out because y'all motherfuckers be getting reckless. Your ass want to be Mrs. Nice Lady all the motherfucking time. You ain't even from America, so you ain't got no savage in you in the first motherfucking place. Want to be up there all nice and shit, cracking jokes and shit. Sometimes it's time to crack a whip on these motherfuckers. Let them know who really bossing around this bitch. Nah, if you got something to say about that, call your ass in then. Motherfucker, I done got back on your ass again. See, I tried to leave you alone. I tried to let you make it, but you keep fucking with a nigga. So if you want to fuck with a nigga, call in and fuck with a nigga. Be a real one for a change. Fuck up, goddammit. Fuck out of here.
Well, we supposed to be talking religion and peace and love. We didn't flip the script. Oh man, Jack. Oh, good grief. Man, this is why I fucks with the dead, man. I'm telling you, it's just a conversation like no other, man. It's a conversation like no other. Let me see. Here's the deal. You know, we still got a little time to do it, but I was on time today, and I think the Brody B Chronicles will be completed tomorrow. So, you know, Mike from Chicago. But beyond the funny, yeah, you was asking about that, man. Like I said, I wasn't tripping on the translation. I mean, you just got to use, you got to use the tools that you provided, man. You know, and again, I think that honestly, regardless of your religious views or your personal views, and I think that people are going to find solace in, whatever works for them. Hold up, player. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening? Hello.
Hey, Honcho, what's the motherfucking deal, man?
Man, Edwin, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop in the den this evening, Edwin?
Hey, man, I ain't touching that religious shit today.
So you don't want no smoke with that?
Oh, man. I ain't trying to step on no toes tonight, man. Fuck that shit. I done heard nothing but diehard Christians calling in, born again Christians. I'm good on that shit, man. They might do a drive-by on me. You drive by and throwing them little small green Bibles at me. I'm good, man.
Go get right today.
I don't want no problems, man. But one thing I do want to ask. I don't know if anybody in the chat can answer that question, or I really would prefer a call-in. Somebody who can educate me on this. But
I don't know what happened. Second time this has happened. All right, call back in on us, Edwin. Oh man. Yeah, I was unprepared. I was like, oh shit, that shit caught me off guard. So again, so we got different Christians and things in here, and I want to throw something out here, right? So what are the thoughts on what's it called? The rapture. What is what is the rapture? I've seen so many different beliefs and thoughts on this whole thing, and I know that there are different perspectives on that. So I'm curious as to see what people think about that whole situation. And I know it's not just a simple answer, but I just like to know what people think about that. What's the motherfucking deal, Edwin, man? Well, you back in action?
Yeah, man, my fault. I don't know why the hell my phone keep doing that shit, man. I might need to give me some more headphones.
Okay.
And I'm every time I pop them headphones in, that shit be hanging up my calls. but yeah, man, I forgot where I left off shit. But I do know one thing, man. I ain't gonna fuck with it tonight, Honcho. I ain't gonna fuck with this religion shit tonight, man. I'm not finna get crucified. No pun intended. I'm good, but I do want to say this. I do, and like I said, I want somebody either in the chat or somebody to call in, preferably a call in, somebody who's educated though, somebody who actually got something to say, who can actually shed some light on it. But what's the whole deal? What's the whole point with gays in church? Homosexuals in church? Because when I was going to church, and this has been about 10 years now, so it's been a while. When I was going to church, and this is before the whole gay agenda shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is before it maybe is around the time it started to rear its head. Yeah. But yeah, man, when I was in church, it was a lot of punks, man, a lot of punks. It was a lot. The choir director was openly gay. I mean, openly gay. He wasn't in the closet gay. He was openly gay.
That boy.
And this 10 years ago, bro. Yes, bro. Yes, bro. But everybody loved him though. He was this flamboyant, friendly ass, cool person. He was cool. I ain't gonna lie, he's cool. Nigga was cool. Nigga was fresh too. Nigga always had a brand new suit on every motherfucking week. I was like, damn, they pay him good to direct the choir. But yeah, man. That's one thing I never understood, man. And they be so die hard, bro. No, I'm not even playing, Honcho. Like some of the biggest Christians, some of the ones that truly love God and praise Him and go by the word or whatever, man. I don't even know. Whatever they do. But some of the biggest Christians I've noticed are gay. Like really gay.
Yeah.
And I never understood that because in the Bible it states, I don't know if I'm right on this, so you can't quote me on it because like I said, I'm not always in the book. I'm not reading. I'm not a Christian, so don't fault me. Don't persecute me for this one. But I think in the Bible it says that gay or homosexuality is an abomination.
Yeah.
I think those were the words that were used, or the word that was used, an abomination. And so I scratch my head sometimes, man, because these people, the homosexuals, they truly love God and they truly go to church and they truly praise and do all of that. But in the end, in the end, it's all going to be for nothing now. So I just never understood that. I just never did. So if somebody could chime in, bro, if somebody who's, gay wants to chime in, and they're Christian, I really would like to know. I really would like to know what you're getting out of it and what's the whole point behind it. That's just me, bro.
Man, I don't know if we have any gays. I've been accused of all kind of homophobics and transphobics. I know it was one dude who came around during the Jesse thing, and I know he was gay, and he was cool, because he was like he didn't believe Jesse either. But I don't know, maybe I might have run them off. Everybody accused me of all these slanders.
Yeah, you probably did. You probably did run them all off, bro.
I was trying to. I'm just expressing my point.
They're like Honcho anti-gay, bro.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is just like I want to know everybody. I'm just gonna state mine. But if you gay, you more than welcome to use the platform and say whatever it is. Like I don't hate you. I just think there's certain things that are
And I don't know the proper terminology, so I don't want to offend nobody out there in the den. All right. Get that. I don't need Professor Dizzy calling back up. You know what I'm saying? Getting on my ass. So that's clear the air out there. So I don't want to step on no toes. But yeah. Shit. Yeah, man. I just never stood there, Honcho. I never did. So that's there's a lot of things about Christianity I don't understand. But that's the one that baffles me the most.
Yeah.
Because it's a contradiction. You're a homosexual, but you're praising God, swearing up and down you're gonna go to heaven. And I don't see it. I don't see it. But that's all I got, man. Somebody could chime in. Somebody could educate me on why. Just educate me, man. Yeah. I'm ignorant to that.
And that's
when
what
it comes down to that,
be about.
maybe.
That's what the den is supposed to be about, education, so people can understand others' perspectives, and that's really what we're trying to accomplish here. So, like the man say, you want to be educated. If somebody has a greater understanding, then bye.
Yeah, that's all. I just want to get a better understanding. That's all. I don't want to offend nobody. But hey, did you hear about the it's an openly gay pastor.
No. Well,
Yeah, and he has instead of a first lady, he got a first man, the first man of the church. And guess what? Of all places too, Atlanta.
No, should have known. Should have knew it. I mean, like I said, I don't put nothing past. Like I say, the whole Morehouse thing that's happening in Atlanta, and this is part of my thing. This is why I say I get annoyed. Like I say, it's not that I hate them. I just get so annoyed because the gay agenda is just so tied to. Is it a black church? I mean, of course, it's Atlanta. It's a black church. It
is. It's two black men.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, and that's what gets me annoyed about the gay, the LGBT alphabet. Y'all see, y'all don't know if y'all was broke like me, growing up.
Nigga,
y'all remember alphabets?
I wasn't broke. We was poor, nigga.
Yeah, but y'all remember alphabet cereal? That was actually kind of the name brand. But y'all remember alphabets? It was like two of them. One of them that had like the little mushroom, the little, I think the vials were fucking marshmallows, and then there was the one that was just straight the motherfucking. It was straight the little hard ass shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we had to put your own sugar in it and shit. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I was no marshmallow alphabets. If it was even alphabets, it was probably the knockoff. But the alphabets game.
Nigga, we was like Friday, nigga. Like, nigga, we never got two things that match. I swear, bro. We have all the bread in the world, but we ain't got nothing to put on that bread.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, I was the alphabets without the extra. I was just, I was lowercase alphabets. But the alphabets gang. You know what I'm saying? The alphabets gang. I hate that it's so tied into the black agenda. Like anything black nowadays has to be gay, and that's what just it bothers me because Atlanta's supposed to be the black mecca of everything, but it's also the gay mecca of everything. You know what I'm saying?
It is. They took the title from San Francisco.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. I remember seeing a video, a nigga in a fairy suit in the middle of the street twirling around and tapping on car. If that nigga would tap my car, I'd beat that motherfucker ass, man. Look, we got.
Hey, bro, and Honcho, we ain't too far behind Atlanta and Houston.
Man,
I ain't never seen. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't never seen these many, bro. Never seen this many in my life. And I've been here all my life.
That's why it be
cool.
Popping
up. Maybe they was always there. Now they can. They can be proud of. It's the trend.
Man, I ain't
all the cool kids are doing it.
Man, look, I'm telling you, and it's a trendy thing now. Like I say, it's the new attention because it used to be emo kids and little weird kids. They stand out to do something for attention. Somebody called in the other day and said that it's the new trend, and so people are doing it for attention. I don't think motherfuckers even really like that. But if you say that, you're gonna get some attention when any other time you be just an old normal ass motherfucker getting ignored. But my thing is, that's just my only beef. Like, I don't really care about it, but it's always when it's something gay, then they attaching some type of black civil rights, some type of bullshit to the shit. And that's where I fucking get. I'm just like, come on, man. Like, if you're going to be gay, you be gay thing. You know what I'm saying? But leave us out of that shit.
Man, I had saw some shit on Facebook. I don't know what I saw it on, man, but this motherfucker was saying that gay people, and I'm sure this was a gay person that wrote this. He said that gay people in this day and age too. Gay people in this day and age have had it just as bad as it was for the civil rights movement. Mm-hmm. I said, nigga, stop right there. Just stop right there, bro. I said, y'all niggas was not getting dogs sicked on y'all and getting mauled in the middle of the street for your sexual preference. So don't go there. Y'all niggas ain't have to sit in the back of the bus because y'all was gay.
Man,
you probably sat in the back of the bus just so you can not be seen, so you can be low key, but you didn't get forced back there. Like I don't like that shit neither, bro.
It's just like the thing is, if you're not out there, because regardless of how you put it, because I was thinking about this the other day, if you're protested and mad about your sexual orientation or whatever not getting recognized, then what you're talking about is sexual. They try to say, because I was arguing with people on that little Dwayne Wade son video. It's not about being sexual. It's about him being happy. No, it's about his sexual orientation and eventually, I hope he ain't doing it now, but where you trying to, bump genitals and shit. So that's sexual. It's your sexual organ. That's what you like, the person you trying to, friskify and fornicate with. Like, shit, it's sexual. Again, it has nothing to do with anything. If you're saying, hey, I'm gay, then you're talking about something sexual. And that's point blank period. So it's sexualized regardless of how you fucking look at it. Now,
exactly. It's like the Kappa. It don't matter. It's still the Kappa. Like, shit. It's like Mardi Gras. Oh, yeah, Mardi Gras, we're just celebrating Louisiana. Like, nigga, no, but we know what happens at Mardi Gras. Yeah. It's like we know these, them pride parades, them hoes be turned out, bro. It be regular straight people going to them hoes because they know how buck wild and how turned out they get, so.
Man,
shit, I went to a pride parade. Don't you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't pass judgment on me, but nigga, there's some women out there.
Yeah, I've heard
women.
Say
I'm
that
talking
shit.
about, it tripped me out, bro. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I kind of got pulled. I was dragged. I was dragged to that motherfucker. Like, I mean, I would go willingly now, but I had to get dragged because I know what's there. I know there's some women there. It ain't just big gay parade. Yeah. It's actually some people out there just enjoying the festivities, Yeah. But yeah, shit, I got dragged to one by some of my homegirls and shit. That shit was turned. Yeah. That shit was turned like a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. I was out there with my shirt off and shit, acting a fool.
Look, now they ain't trying to hit you with the Josh, huh? Not with the J Mail, man. Remember J Mail? You thought he had him a bad one. He was up in the club in New York, man. You got to be careful.
Oh man, I ain't hear about that one, J Mail.
Damn. Yeah, you ain't catch that video. You weren't here for that one. Oh, okay. Well,
damn, I wish I'd have called them. Maybe he might call in and go down memory lane one day. One of these Sunday nights. Yeah, man. But it's funny. It's funny how I called in and just changed the whole subject from religion to gays. Yeah. Hey, bro. Hey, if you had any more den supporters that were gay, yeah, I'm sure they're gone now, bro. We done ran off the last of them, man. My bad, Honcho. My bad.
Look, after the D-Wade kid video, after the transgender fender bender video, I'm sure they gone, man. They done pieced out.
Hey, I'm starting to think you might have something against him, Honcho. Shit, I know I do. I got something against him. Man, I do.
Here's my deal.
I
just believe there's a place for everything, and everything ain't for everybody. That's just how I believe. Everything is not for everybody, and to try to force inclusion into something where you're not wanted, I don't believe in doing shit like that. I don't care if it's about gays. I don't care if it's about being black and being somewhere you ain't wanted. I don't care if it's about women. I don't care. Yeah. It's just like, why force yourself into a situation where you're not wanted? I believe in building your own and creating something for yourself. Why? I don't want to be around people that don't want me around. I don't want to be in a place where motherfuckers don't want to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool on. I'm not finna. Well, you're doing something that I want to do, and then I can go build it myself. I can go do it myself. Like, I can go figure out the shit myself if it's something I really want to do, other than try to force some people in this, forcing people out because they don't like my lifestyle. Okay, if they built that, they made that, cool. You know what? I'm gonna go do my own thing, but I'm gonna put my own little twist on it. But it is what it is, man. So.
Yeah. So I got a question, Honcho.
All right.
What do you think about I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna phrase this question. What do you think is driving the whole gay agenda? Like, what's the driving force behind it, and what's the end result? Like, what are they trying to achieve? They want the whole world to be gay? Like, I don't know.
There was a thing like I don't remember if it was a manifesto or something. I can't remember who wrote it. I had it on an old computer. This was some years back, and that hard drive ended up crashing, so I never saved the thing. And I don't remember because I had it saved like an ebook or something because I started reading some of it. But it was basically a dude who wrote this shit. I want to say in the earlier 1900s, maybe 1940s, 50s or so. I might be predating it a little bit too early, but basically he was talking about all these things that were going to start happening, how they're going to start, including certain homosexual activities and things, and how they were going to slowly but surely do it to where it became acceptable, and where it became like when people didn't think twice about it. Like they said, you talked about it, there may be a little bit of pushback, but eventually it was going to be this and this, and he made like a whole fucking thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You say not only that, but obsessed with the butter rectum. Oh well, damn, it was nice knowing y'all. Shit, but nah, nah, man. The thing about it though is like, so I remember reading that, and then as you were saying, I was like, nah, no way. But then I started to see like how the world was starting to operate, and it is, man. And so again, like I don't know, man. I don't know what the agenda is. I don't know what the purpose is. I think it's just to bring the worst out of everybody. Because if you ever notice something, like you ever hear gay comedians, they say the most foul shit. Now all comedians say some off the wall shit. But gay comedians, they push it to the limit, like to say the most. They go out of their way to say the most just blasphemous type shit for laughs and for shits and giggles and stuff. And the shit don't even really be funny, but they just say anything. You know what I'm saying? Like they take it to the edge of the most grotesque shit. It's not even necessarily funny. But again, like I say, they're allowed to push these fucking boundaries that others are not. And again, like I said, I don't know what the ultimate end goal is. I've talked about, population control. We can talk about sins. We can talk about all that other shit. But
and look, and then they call us, and then they call niggas like us, Honcho, niggas like us that feel the way we feel about it. They call us, what would they call us, homophobes, or what else they call us? They call us haters. Like I don't hate on that shit. I don't want that shit.
Yeah, I honestly don't give a shit. I'm gonna talk about it. I've probably become more annoyed with it lately because of the way motherfuckers be reacting to shit. Like I'll talk about anybody in the same way. If I don't agree with something, and again, like I say, even with a lot of it, when it comes down to it, I don't even talk about it being gay. Like I generally try to avoid that stuff. Like we went to Jesse Smollett shit. If you go watch most of it, I didn't even really talk much about him being gay. I talk more so about his actions and they're being reprehensible. The little kid, I wasn't even saying so much about him being gay, but I'm talking about a child being at an event like Pride where he doesn't belong. But when people go, they go and they seek out, well, it's gays involved, so you must hate gay. Like, I don't give a fuck about you. Like, honestly, like I'm gonna be 100% real. Like I don't really give a shit, But
right, I'm not finna waste that much brain power on it to actually hate y'all, to actually develop hate for y'all in my heart. Like hell nah, fuck that. I don't like the shit, and I'm gonna call it what it is, and I'm gonna call a spade a spade. You a punk. What else you want me to call you? You a punk, man. Where I come from, bro, that shit was unacceptable, bro. As a black man, that shit is unacceptable, bro. As a black man, you telling me you want to get piped down? Right? What the kind of shit is that, bro? Where the fuck that come from, bro? That shit ain't in our culture, bro. What the fuck?
Oh, it's in now, shit.
Honestly, bro, that shit came from the Europeans, bro. That homosexual shit, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Y'all can get offended or get pissed off, call me out on the call up here, talk your shit. I don't give a damn, bro. That shit didn't come from niggas, bro. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't believe it, bro. I don't believe it. I really don't. That shit, that's the European shit, man. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. That's the European shit, bro. Niggas was not on that shit, bro.
Yeah. Niggas just started trying to get Greek. You know what I'm talking about? But again, like I say, but my thing is, man, honestly, like I said, it's just, look, I'm a big believer in freedom of speech, and so I'm gonna speak on whomever I feel like speaking on. But the thing is, nowadays, like I don't believe in protected class. Like I said, I'm not gonna want any advantages, even as a black man, that nobody else has. I want everybody to have a fair playing field. Everybody should be able to say what the fuck they want, so you know how people really fucking feel about you. Like, if you're not fucking with you, then don't go trying to make somebody, like, that's what I'm saying. Like this false love, like, you said bad stuff about, well, I apologize. Celebrities coming out and apologize. They don't mean that shit, but your goofy ass gonna eat the shit up. Well, they apologize now, and I feel better about it. Motherfucker don't like you. Like, fuck all that shit, man. Like, I mean, that's the shit that kills me, man. Like, I think people should be allowed to be who the fuck they really are. And in the world, if you're honest about how you feel, you're a bad guy. I'm not deceiving you. I'm not.
Yeah, they're censoring. I remember you had a what's the name about it? The censorship. You had did a den about censorship, and that's pretty much what it is, Honcho. When it come down, because they're pushing it all in your face. It's in the movies, it's in commercials, it's everywhere now. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's even in kid movies. You know what I mean? They got on Disney. They have a homosexual character now, and I'm just like, man. I told my daughter, I said, look, man, tired of answering these questions, but I'm gonna keep answering them because I have to. That's what I'm gonna do. I said that shit right there, that ain't right there. That ain't cool. That ain't natural, and it goes against man. It goes against humanity. That's what I be telling her. I said that shit goes against humanity. I said a man and a man can't produce. They can't have a baby. Yeah. And so I'm real with my daughter, bro. She's 8 years old, but I'm real with her, bro. I'm brutally honest. And sometimes I'm a bit too honest, and I be having to scale it back. I'm real. I be having to scale it back. I'm like, damn, this girl only 8 years old, bro. She don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And so I'll be having to scale it back. But yeah, I'm brutally honest with my daughter, man. She know how pretty much how dark the world can be. She hasn't experienced it. You know, she ain't gonna have to experience that shit, you know, living under my roof. But she knows, you know, she knows how bad things can get. And I share a lot of my experiences with her. I'm probably a little bit too much that I probably shouldn't share so much with her, but I share with her. I share a lot, you know. I share a lot with her. And so yeah, man. That's I just want to talk a little bit about that, man. Shit, me and you ended up getting into a whole conversation about it. That's what I didn't expect, but that's why I love calling in, man. I don't never know what to expect sometimes, man. Exactly. But yeah, man. Yeah, we probably done ran them all off now, Honcho. We probably free to speak however we want.
You say, you know, them motherfucker now. Let me say.
Yeah.
Pop back up tomorrow. It's gonna be
you know what I'm saying?
a channel strike. Yeah, we caught you motherfucker. You was talking, dropping them F-bombs, huh?
They're gonna report your ass to YouTube, man. But yeah, I'm out, Honcho. I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully somebody calls in, man, or can educate me, man. Somebody can really, cause that was a real question. I really want to understand that, man. You ain't got to be a homosexual. If you got some knowledge and can kick it my way, please do so. Cause I'm really adamant about that. I really am. But that's all I got, Honcho. I'm finna hop my dirty ass in the shower and listen to the den.
All right, well that's the bet, man. I appreciate the call, there, Edwin.
Oh yeah, anytime.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, oh, Josephine, Johnny. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
It's Edmund.
Edmund, speaking of pride parades, what's the motherfucking deal, Edmund? What would you like to drop in the den tonight, man?
All right, so speaking about religion, what do you think about religion and relationships?
Religion and relationships. What do you mean exactly?
So let's say, for example, I'm not as religious, but a person that I'm dating is a devoted Christian. Do you think that interferes with the relationship, and do you think that's something that can last, or is it something that it's just bound to make or break a relationship?
With anybody else in the world, I think it could work, but with you specifically, I don't think it would work. So I think that if you're dating somebody who is who's a committed Christian and they're with you, they should leave you immediately. You know, I think that they should not. But I'll seriously, I mean, there's a lot of couples who have different views. There's people who are, you know, adamant Christians, and they, husband or wife, will never fucking go to church. They're gonna be at home, you know, every Sunday while they go to church. They're gonna be doing their thing. They're gonna be working in the garage or fucking on the couch watching football or whatever else the fuck. They not thinking twice about going to church. But you know, I think it just depends on the type of relationship, man. You know, again, I think people can make it work. It may be a layer of difficulty, but if you feel like you're really compatible and y'all really love each other, I think it can work. But I think it could probably, for most people, cause more problems than help.
Yeah, because I've seen some stories where, you know, where the guy pretty much is influenced by the chick, and they go into that path of Christianity because of the chick. Do you think that that's something that should be happening, or is that
Being pulled into a religion? You saying is that something that should be happening?
right, or is that more of I'm just doing it because I want to be with her?
Again, I think it comes down to the individual and what their really, their genuine intention is. So, I mean, if they genuinely want to, be a better person and that person has, kind of shown them the way and that's what they believe, then I think then, hey, it is what it is. But if it's they think, well, I'm only doing this because she's doing this and I know this will make her stay with me, then your intentions are not true. So, I mean, you're defeating the person. You're just really wasting a bunch of time, probably with the relationship and probably with the religious beliefs. So, I don't think it's even worth it. If you got to do that to keep a relationship and you're not genuinely interested in interested in the religion, but the person you with wants you to be a part of that religion, then I think you probably got to find somebody else because you're not going to be satisfied and happy if you have no intentions of committing to that.
Okay. I want to finish up by making an announcement, though.
Let me get my finger ready on the trigger. What you got?
So I was at the rec today, and I was playing basketball, and I jumped, and I felt a pop in my knee.
Tore your ACL?
I think so. No, like legit. Like it's happened to me before. It happened to me a couple years ago. Right knee. Now this time it's my left. Unfortunate, but that's what happens when you play basketball.
You haven't heard the saying, Ed, man, and this is something you got to take very seriously. Illegal immigrants can't jump, okay? And so you got to stay on the ground. You got to be a shooter, pure shooter. So you got to keep it on the ground, man.
But see, that's a fallacy because Heidi jumped on my dick, so I don't think that makes sense.
Whoa. Somebody's violated now. Sanctity of marriage, my ass. Well, that's interesting to know there, Edmund. And, yeah. Heidi's gonna meet you in real life. She's gonna beat your motherfucking ass. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Student choked out by a girl at U of H. Yeah, on the basketball court with torn ACL. But yeah. But that's a bit it, man. I appreciate the call, man. Hopefully your knee is not injured. Hopefully you can revive your career. It may just take you may be out for a couple of weeks.
All right, bet.
All right. Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. We can't ever have good things in the den. We can't ever have nice stuff. Damn, there was something I had told. I didn't jot it down because we got to some other conversations. Because there was another point I wanted to make. Something that not prepaid that Beyond the Funny nigga said earlier. And I forgot what the fuck it was. I meant to jot it down. We got into so many other good conversations. It was a point I wanted to make. Now I can't fucking forget it. Interesting. So, let's see. I think Miss Sheila's stream is like behind by like she's got to be behind by like 5 to 10 minutes. Because we'll be on something else, and then Miss Sheila will be commenting on something like from previously. And I guess, is there really any way that you can I guess I'm gonna have to make this, Miss Sheila, you got to make sure that the live button on your stream is it'll be red, it'll light up. Make sure it says live with the little red light on there. Otherwise you'll be behind, because I think we've moved on to conversation, but we want you to join us in real time. So if you get a chance to get that, we definitely want you to join. But we appreciate you being here, late or not. It's all good. But yeah, because I keep noticing that, it was like, damn, wait, what? Man, but I fucks with y'all, man, and this is why I say I really do dig the den. And I'm gonna be honest, we kind of stuck on the I think we didn't really get into the toxicity of, certain church. We mentioned, I think briefly it got mentioned about some of these, churches and then how they're kind of, violating in the name of God or whatever you want to call it. But I think we focused more on the beliefs tonight. And I think that's cool. I think we did more with the, I think we did more with the beliefs and the thought processes as far as, why people believe, what people believe, and how they believe. We got a couple of good ones tomorrow. I'm deciding. I know Prepaid had mentioned reparations, and so I was thinking about that one. I got another one. It's either probably going to be between, even though what's tomorrow, Friday? It's supposed to be Free for All Friday. So it may be a throw it up conversation. It may be a do we believe or do you think reparations will or won't happen? Y'all already know how I feel about that. Look, that's a whole conversation in itself. We might we gonna see. We gonna throw something. We're gonna throw something out there. I got a couple of things written down that I want to discuss. Tomorrow's Good Friday. It sure is. Kids out of school. I think it's gonna be a good Friday. You got to do all this book work. It's gonna be a bad Friday for you. Nah. Interesting. Man, today is? Well, technically the 19th. So Saturday. Man, that's terrible. This so fucked up, man. Saturday is 420. Perfect day in the middle of the fucking week, and I'm not. And I'm not smoking. I gotta think about it. I gotta think about what I'm gonna do. I gotta think about what I'm gonna do. Saturday we're gonna talk some shit one way or another. Yeah, y'all proud. I ain't proud of this shit. No, I'm just fucking with y'all. Just mean I gotta grind. Hopefully, if I can feel it. Somebody. See, this is what I need. I need another fucking Jesse to. I need they got to be black, gay, super liberal, and famous to do some stupid shit. So that way everybody get riled up about it, and then I can do a video on it. Bam, subscribers boost up and get to this 5K. But 5K is not the only thing. But we got a lot of stuff to. I got some other goals that go in associated with it. But that's the first part of it is getting the 5,000 subscribers in the den. Shit, I'm talking shit. 5,000 in the den. The fucking sauce barely over 4,500. It's been around for quite some time. But 5K, call your lead Honcho. I'm SS3. Nah, I'm not really trying. It's not about the numbers, like I say. It's just it's about goals. And the reason why I say 5K, because to me that don't mean that I've been putting in more work in the den and really grinding to get to where it needs to get. It's not about the numbers. It's never about the numbers. To me, it's all about the conversation. And if the conversation ain't good, then shit, what the fuck is the point, right? On heaven and hell. Okay. What we'll do is we'll throw a heaven and hell conversation in next week. We're gonna probably violate some ethics this weekend. But I don't know, I might leave that open for tomorrow. We'll see. So it'll be between I got a couple of topics. I might put a poll up early tomorrow on the YouTube community page and hold a vote. Right? So y'all look out for that. Maybe hold a vote. And I smoking a motherfucking crack. Don't want to do that. I'll do some of that flocka though. Hold up. But now we'll I might hold a vote. I might put a little poll up and then tomorrow and we'll see. We'll let y'all take a vote on what topic y'all want to have. So we'll see what it is. Yeah, it's very interesting. 'Cause like I say, as far as all the Christian conversation that we had tonight, I thought it was very good. I thought it was very intriguing. So it's good to know. It's good to know. Hiding. Yes, I see. Shame. Do Democrats care about black people or just to vote? Interesting. Let me just look. Let me put down a couple of these things in my DN notebook. Hold on, let's take a look at the topics on this topic. But we'll chop it up. Where we at? Chop it up about 3-4 more minutes, then we'll get ready to wrap it up. So if y'all have any topic ideas y'all want to throw out there, then we'll talk about. What did I talk about? What did I say that about the gays? I said I beat the nigga ass. I ain't say that. Did I say it? I probably did. It was probably for a reason. Probably not. Who knows? Look. Let's see. Do the Dems care about the black vote? Or care about blacks or just the vote? Well, we know the answer to that. Oh, did y'all see that in 2020 Hispanics will pass blacks for the largest minority vote? So that's just a little heads up out there. So watch how the conversation changes in politics around that. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. It was eventually bound to happen. But yeah. And then, you got to understand that these people are smart and very aware of that. So that's why they flat earth. Oh man, that's actually, because I think somebody called in and said, I was talking about flat earth the other day. That might be a very interesting conversation to have. I'm going to throw that in the list. We did abusive relationships this week. Let me take that out. We talked about religion nights. What the fuck? I wrote something I didn't finish. I have no idea what the fuck it was. Heaven and hell. I'll throw that topic in the book. We'll see what we got. Let's see. Let's talk about why women ain't shit. You talking about everyday conversation in the den. Yeah, flat earth is interesting. See, here's the thing though. Like I say, we talk about clout chasing. I don't necessarily like to do it, but that's part of the logic versus emotion thing, right? My emotion is I don't want to be a clout chaser. I don't want to be that guy. But emotion says, if you're trying to get views and you're trying to get subs and followers, then you got to talk about these fucking, you know what I'm saying? Hey, be out there, look at him out there making love, man. But if you want to be if I want to be a clout chaser, like right now, if I said we're going to talk about the Mueller report and what's happening in that, that would be a topic that people would gravitate toward because it's a hot topic. But like I just be on some man, like I don't know, I got to get over that shit. Like I got to get over that. I be feeling, man, this is something being cheesy, chasing. Like I don't want to chase the views. I want the conversation to be genuine. But shit, it's something we can talk about. It's definitely something to discuss. So I know we have different political perspectives tonight. That's crazy. All right. But yeah, man. So again, I think we're gonna get ready to wind it down. And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support and all the denizens, the degenerates, the friends in the den, and oh yeah, they'll definitely love it. They love it. Look, here's the deal. I lose a lot of subs because of that. Because like I said with the Jesse thing, they were like, yeah, a lot of people. And that's what I said. I'm gonna be straight up honest. There was a lot of white folks that wanted to see a black guy because there's a lot of those out there that just condemn everything niggas do. Look, I'm here to talk shit about everybody. So everybody gonna catch some straight shots. You know what I'm saying? So people don't want to hear that. They just want to hear, the other side and why they're not doing well or why this is a problem. Look, I'm saying, I'm like, what was that movie where the motherfucker was hanging like upside down, spinning around, shooting at everybody? You know what I'm saying? They had the two guns spinning like, that's how I'm finna hit. Everybody gonna get hit, goddamn. Look at everybody getting hit. But I'm gonna talk about a lot of black issues because shit, I'm black. And that's what I'm trying to fix some of these goddamn problems. Niggas ain't gonna listen. He was a nigga talking shit, eating chicken, talking about Africa. This motherfucker got 1 million views. He's a suspect, but there, it is what it is. But hey, man, here's the deal. Like I say, look, I'm finna get up out of here. Y'all be cool, y'all be cool. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Live at 10. Den at 10, because it's the easiest thing to remember. 9 o'clock. Well, here's the deal with 9 o'clock is because I do the sports stream at 7. And sometimes the sports carries over for an hour or two. And so I have to, give myself a little bit of time in between to, make it do what it do, baby. So that's just like my little buffer there. But I'm telling you, when we hit 5K, I'm gonna get y'all a 12-hour stream. Maybe. Don't count on it, but count on it. But like I say, y'all be cool like y'all be cool, man. Hey, look, y'all ain't got to go home. But y'all gotta get the fuck up out of here, man. It's time to go to bed and shit. Good Friday. Y'all need to be asleep and shit. Y'all ain't good. Some of y'all off tomorrow. Some of y'all kids ain't got no school. Y'all tripping, Y'all gotta get some rest for the Easter egg hunt and shit. Y'all know y'all bullshit and all that good stuff. I'm gone.